Welcome again to the Drunken Guardian Gaming Podcast.
I gotta pretend to look.
Episode 59, take 3. So, we're going to talk about the PlayStation Showcase. We talked a little bit about what we were playing as games and stuff like that, but we kind of lost audio for some reason. So, Danny was playing Deathloop, and I've been playing Psychonauts. Kevin, you were trying to get into what you've been playing next as well.
Oh yeah. I was playing Maximo, doing some Persona stuff, and like I was just trying out all my games, and like I'm gonna have a really interesting stream next week with all the classics that I'm gonna be doing.
Mm-hmm.
Classics, right? It is. Is it right to say that?
They're even considered retro at this point, to be honest.
So the retro games that I have in my storage, and I found Dragon Ball Z Budokai 1 for like $10, and I just bought it. And I was like, nice. And then they just threw it in the wall.
Hey, Randy, what you been up to?
Still trying to 100% fucking World Ends With You, Neo. Oof. I'm at 92. So I'm definitely fucking making progress.
You'll get it 100% before I even like get into the middle of that game.
I definitely know that I'm gonna have like some trouble with maybe 2 bosses, if anything.
Mm-hmm.
But overall, like I made a whole lot of fucking progress, so I'm really enjoying it. I'll tell you this: there's one item. It's not like giving a spoiler or anything.
Mm-hmm.
There's one item that you need to like get in the whole collection thing. In order to get the shit that you need to like trade for it, it's gonna be like 7.7 million yen.
Wow, that's a lot of money.
Yeah, and one pin alone costs 3.3 million yen.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to buy 2 things that cost the same amount plus some other shit. But it's
is there a money cap in the game?
No, okay, there is a money cap in the start at I think 999, and then it does increase, and then you like in the social network thing, you get 2 things that increase your yen. So I don't know how far it really goes.
Okay.
Probably 999,999,999.
Yeah,
but yeah, no, I haven't hit that cap, and I'm not even gonna like. I'm not looking forward to it.
Well, I only asked because I would think that would help to just
no, yeah. And again, that's not even like a fucking spoiler thing.
Yeah,
but believe me, I want to like talk about it so bad.
I know. In
I'm
December,
110%.
In the end of December, like I'll guarantee you I'll be done. That's when I'll have the chance, and
so hopefully
somebody else actually plays too.
Dan, if you don't beat the game before I get it, I'm gonna get it, but like in 2 weeks. If you don't beat the game by December, I'm gonna spoil the shit out of it for you.
You know what? All right, we're gonna we'll make that bet because at that point I think I deserve it. So if I haven't beaten the game by the end of December, then we'll fucking talk spoilers and shit.
Yeah, I'm all like, so it. Yeah, he's gonna spill out his guts,
dude. Fucking just like.
Leticia, aside from Crash Bandicoot, what have you been playing?
She's been playing Crash. How the fuck did you know?
Because that's all she plays.
No, that's not true. Like, okay, I didn't really play anything this week, but I found a new game on Steam. It's like a 3D platformer. It's called Peblito.
What is it?
It's like your little baby Peblito. You're like a little baby rock that has to gather food for his family. It looks really cute.
Okay.
I'm gonna play it tomorrow because I found it like yesterday.
So... I thought you were gonna talk about the other one that you found.
Peblito.
Let's go into like the degenerate side of Steam for a quick second.
No, I was there for too long.
There's a game.
You fall into this deep hole.
No. She fell into the deep hole. That's like some other person's hole.
Yeah.
So the game is called VR Kanojo or something like that. What is it? Right? It's.
Did they still allow like hentai shit and all that weird stuff?
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah, apparently there's like a whole section there, and you can have like a VR girlfriend and stuff, and it was so weird.
Yeah.
And we
I found my little rock wholesome game, so I was happy with the wholesome rock family game.
To each their own.
Okay, you put that game in chat. I just want to see it for.
I got you real quick.
So it is Negroni week for those in the bar and restaurant industry. So I made myself a Negroni, which is actually one of my favorite cocktails. So I thought I'd just give that a shout out. Negroni week is just an appreciation of all the different types of Negroni variations and stuff like that. The invention of the drink because it's so popular, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Anybody drinking anything else?
I'm drinking Choya. Is this shit?
Wait, is that the plum wine that I have?
Yeah.
Oh, you
I've been
bought it too? It has the plums in it, right?
Yeah, I've been drinking that. I drank the whole thing Saturday in like one go, and
Yeah.
I had a little left over, and I was like, let me just mix this sake, and just like made a mixed drink out of it. And I was like, this tastes awful, but I'm gonna finish it because I already
Straight
started
up
it.
is enough, man. That shit's delicious.
Yeah,
It's so sweet. Danny, like I said, you would like that a lot. Yeah. Anybody else drinking? Before we start the show, the actual show?
Me.
What
I'm
you
drinking me a little something. You know?
Hey.
Oh, IPA, Lagunitas.
Always.
Ugh.
Always. It's actually I don't know. There was this whole thing of like, wow, it tastes so good and blah blah blah. It does taste good, but it doesn't taste that much different from like a standard Lagunitas. So I don't see what the fuck like the difference is, honestly.
With
Like,
other IPAs?
no. With Lagunitas Basin in particular, because
Okay.
obviously, like I've shown you a couple IPAs and like told you what the fuck's in them and like how it tastes.
Yeah, very detailed.
This is the same shit as just like a base fucking Lagunitas. Just like you got this on the front. So, I guess.
Okay.
It still does the job really well though, so that's good.
High BV.
It's 7.5. But
Yeah.
I mean, if you like essentially butt chug it, then you're good.
Yeah. And Danny, he showed us before he was drinking a little Bacardi seltzer, so he's loving that. And Leticia.
Rum,
Sapporo.
real rum.
Sapporo. Oh yeah. Yeah, can't go wrong with that. All right, so
Dude, fucking, I'm amazed. Like her deli sells like the fucking those big ass
Everything.
cans of Sapporo. Their
Oh,
beer
really?
selection's like fucking top notch,
Huh.
actually.
they know what they're doing. All right,
Better
guys.
than shit
Sorry
in
about that.
Queens.
So, PlayStation Showcase, me, Kevin, and Danny, we kind of live streamed it. Well, I mostly live streamed it, and then Danny kind of jumped along in like the middle of it, but he was still watching it from the beginning. So they revealed a lot of trailers for a lot of stuff that's building up a lot of hype. It's not just like one or two, but it was quite a few. So it was a really good presentation. Number one, the first one I wanted to talk about was Spider-Man 2. I was excited about this one. Like they showed both Miles and Peter Parker like both fighting together, and then the narrator had this weird accent, so everybody's assuming that this was Kraven the Hunter talking, only to surprise everyone with Venom in like hiding in the alley somewhere, and he kind of appears real quickly before they show like the title screen or whatever. So I'm excited for this one. I'm definitely getting this one, and I was also thinking maybe it might be co-op. What do you guys think?
I think
That'd be
so.
very
I think a
fun.
lot of those games are going towards co-op.
Co-op,
Like
Danny?
the same thing for I think the same thing for the Dark Knight, the new Dark Knight game. I think a lot
Oh,
of them
yeah.
going towards Dark Knight. I mean, co-op.
Uh,
Don't be surprised
Arkham
if
Knight
like
or some shit.
Gotham
yeah,
Knights,
Arkham-
Gotham Knights, right?
Gotham Knights.
Something
Gotham-
Knights.
Something like that, yeah.
Gotham Knights.
Pumpkin Nights. What the fuck?
I don't be surprised if you get if they introduce Ghost Venom or Ghost Spidey or whatever the fuck up.
Ghost Spider.
Ghost Spider? What?
Ghost
Yeah.
Spidey, yeah.
Yeah, Ghost. It's a Spider-Man.
Stacy.
Gwen Stacy. Oh, you're talking about
Oh, Gwen Stacy Spider-Man or
Stacy.
Spider-Woman.
Isn't it Spider Gwen? Or am I bugging?
I thought it was
Depends on
Spider-Gwen.
what iteration. Like my kids watch
Oh,
the
yeah,
Spider-Man cartoon and they're calling her Ghost Spidey right now.
Yeah.
Oh,
Mm.
It's Ghost
Yeah,
Spider
'cause-
or Spider Gwen. Yeah.
yeah, because Ghost Spider, isn't it? The
It's
Ghost Spider,
Spidey.
like the Ghost Spider variation. Or am I bugging?
I don't know.
No.
Well, I
hers
hope
is
they're
Ghost
not.
Spider.
I hope they're not touching more on
You
this
can't say-
multiverse stuff because I'm already getting sick of that shit. Like they already got
But
the
this-
Spider-Man
but none of that-
multiverse, and then
yeah, but
this
none of that's part of-
movie.
but none of that is multiverse. That's all part of that's canon.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I hope they don't go that direction. Like both of these movies seem to be going, or like the Miles Morales Spider-Man movie that we saw, and then now this new
Nah, because
Spider-Man
then they
No Way
would've-
Home.
They would have introduced multiple Spider-Mans instead of Miles and Venom. I mean, you don't do Miles and Venom in an alternate universe, you know?
Yeah. Anybody else? Like I honestly don't. I honestly don't hope that they do co-op. I think this needs to just stay a single player game. Like, what are your thoughts, Randy?
So I would actually enjoy thoroughly if they do make it co-op because so
Yeah.
first I didn't play the other Spider-Man, like PS4 Spider-Man,
Mm-hmm.
the one that Miles Morales followed up on. I didn't play that one at all. I should, seeing how like
Gorgeous.
there's a bunch of fucking episodes that like it's considered to recommended to me, but No, what I did like was that I didn't consider the fact that what was it, Craven the Hunter, that was talking,
Yeah.
because Venom speaking, like obviously it's not going to be like Venom speaking as Venom when they're like, oh, we will like to
Yeah.
as in like as if they were the narrator, but it's like Craven's looking for a challenge, and Venom's like, oh yeah, no, we as in the royal we, like I
Mhm.
am gonna like contribute to this. So it's like, yeah, cool, Miles and Peter, awesome, but now there's Venom.
Mhm.
So I'm pretty interested with how it's gonna go. I will definitely have to play Miles and Spider-Man though.
Yeah, well, to be fair, like if you're worried about the whole like how they introduce Venom and stuff, they don't really touch on Venom at all in the games
No,
except
no,
for
no.
the end credits.
Yeah, no,
No.
I'm aware that he's not like a pivotal part of it, but it's like I feel like I would have to play it just to like thoroughly enjoy it, because they're probably gonna recycle mechanics from it.
Yeah.
If anything, like just to be like familiar as and not feel so like lost.
Well,
Mhm.
that's the reason why I want it to be multiplayer, because I feel like they are going to recycle mechanics, so it's going to feel like almost the same thing. But if you
I mean,
do,
didn't Miles and Peter play entirely different in their own
Yeah.
They
single
did.
perspective?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they
Yeah,
did.
so with that, like if it is co-op, then
I
it's
mean,
like one's Peter, one's Miles,
I don't
and
agree.
it's
I
kind
don't
of
agree
that.
with that. I mean, they have different sets and stuff, but ultimately it felt like the same game. It felt like an expansion of it, you know.
Well,
Yeah.
it was an
Well,
expansion.
I still think
That's
Mario
what
it
I'm
was
saying.
still
It
okay.
just felt like
played
a
very
DLC.
different though.
It felt like a DLC. I mean, yeah, he had his different moveset, but
Mhm.
at the end of the day, you're still doing the same counter, counter tag, dodge
Well,
away.
yeah, the
all
mechanics
that.
of the game haven't changed, but
That's what I'm
like the
saying.
arsenal,
But
like the
they
the
haven't
arsenal they each
changed.
have.
Yeah, but they haven't changed in a while. That's what I'm saying.
Mhm.
Not even the PS4 version. Then the one before the Spider-Man game was the same shit. You know.
Mhm. I honestly like, I don't mind co-op, and I have nothing against it even if they did do it. I'm against it only because I don't want it to affect the quality of the story of the game. Like, I don't want them to focus, oh, we have to perfect this multiplayer, and then they focus so much on the multiplayer that like the other aspects that made the game so great kind of fall on the wayside and get watered down or whatever. That's what I worry about. Like, 'cause that's what games tend to do. They try to add more features and they focus so much on the new shit that all the old shit kind of falls back.
Mm-hmm.
Can I make a suggestion?
What's a suggestion?
What if it's like
Mhm.
Vampire Smile co-op, where it's its own kind of story?
Because
Because I even told
again,
you,
but again,
because I
like
even told you the fucking what is it, like Yuki story and Dishwasher story are two separate things, and they have their own for what the co-op is.
yeah, sure. Like that doesn't matter.
You know
Like
what I mean?
they could make it in line with the regular story, or they can make it their own separate thing. But regardless, like in my head, the developers, just imagine like developers are being spread thin and focusing on too many aspects of the game and not focus on the proper things that made the game what it was, which is the biggest part was the story and like the feel of being Spider-Man and the move sets and all that stuff. So like now when they start focusing on, or how we're gonna do these double combos, and like how we're gonna do Miles and Peter at the same time and all this and that, and the networking issues and all that, and then everything starts to get jumbled up, like regardless of how they want to go about it. I worry that like it may mess up the rest of the game, you know.
Or in short, Dan, you could just say you don't want them to have too much dip on their chip. They're gonna bring this slogan. Just bring the slogan out. I was waiting. Yeah, you don't want.
That's
you
all
don't
you.
want. Yeah, that's all me. For me, is I love the Spider-Man game, and I actually that was one of my hopes when we were watching the showcase, either a new Spider-Man game or a DLC or something, and I got it. Making it co-op is the same issue that I have. Well, it's the same concerns that I have as Danny, is that the online is going to be shit, or it's not going to be as good as it being like two Spider-Man. It's just going to be like I don't know if you guys played Resident Evil 6,
Oh,
Ada story.
Mhm.
You ever played as Hank? You know what he does? Nothing. You're literally just there for
That's funny.
like for bullets. And I don't want that to be like the focus of it. I want it to just be like GTA. Like the story mode is just Miles, Peter, and Venom, and they could do it like Ultimate Spider-Man, that you could play with Venom or Peter Parker.
I
And
think
it's just
if anything too, a good idea would be simply just to switch between the characters. It still be
Yeah.
a single player story game, but you can switch between them, or
Yeah,
it'll just switch depending
who
on the
did it really
story.
well? You know what did it really well? When I think about it, the last Devil May Cry game.
5.
5?
Yeah,
Now,
yeah.
I didn't play that, so what do you mean by that then?
They had both They had all three at one point. All three characters working simultaneously.
Yeah. So it
So
oh, can I explain it? I love
yeah,
the
Yeah.
Devil May Cry. So basically it's like me, Dan, and you, or me, Dan, and Randy could be playing three different characters playing the exact same story from three different point of views, and it's co-op. So like when you do a boss fight, like you can be fighting with Dan and not even know it's really Dan. So like later on, and in the credits of Devil May Cry, it shows you like every player you ran into, or every player that you were in the same thing with.
So
Which
the
I would,
game is secretly
Oh,
online?
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
I know exactly what you're talking about. It
Huh.
was touched upon in some like shit that I saw, but yeah, it's like the effect on what it does to the game, like you really can't fucking tell what it does. So it that one's like a weird thing because if I'm playing with someone, I would kind of like to know if and where the fuck they are in terms of what we're doing if it's the same chapter. Because I
Bro,
mean the stories do line up, but
uh-huh,
it's like if you
very
just happen to miss it, then it's like, wait, when the fuck did I play with this person? What the fuck?
yeah.
What happened here?
You
You
well,
could
know, like
I'm not saying to disconnect. I mean, you can leave it that they
no,
keep.
no, I'm not saying to like disconnect immediately, but it's like if you just happen to miss when this person like passes by at a certain pivotal point of the story because you're just kind of rushing through it, then it kind of loses the charm of like what mechanic they tried to do with it. So
yeah.
But the whole point was that even if it wasn't, because I played it offline, so the computer was always an AI for me. So it still looked interesting, regardless if it was real or an AI.
Mhm.
So if you as you're going and you're shooting all your bad guys and stuff in the subway, you see across the hall another subway station. You can just see the guy fighting in the background, fighting other enemies and stuff like that, and doing his own thing.
Okay.
And it kind of had a cool little mesh to everything, which looked cool because it's like, oh, wow. And then you can go and do that storyline to see what he actually saw later on.
Mhm.
They had 3 point of view. It started with just the one character, then it started with two, and then it started with three. So storyline wise, you get to choose who you want to going to see in the story, or you can hop between, go back
Yeah.
and forth. So
Do you
it
know
was
That's
what
kind of
game
interesting.
did
interesting.
that actually before Devil May Cry 5?
But
Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep.
Oh, Jesus. Letty, so what are your thoughts on Spider-Man?
take a shot.
Um, well, the Devil May Cry game you guys were just talking
Done.
about, I played that one with my brother, and I didn't feel like the multiplayer really took away from the story. I felt like it
Mhm.
was like a different way of playing the game.
Yeah.
I don't think the Spider-Man is gonna take away from the story. It's Spider-Man, They're
Mhm.
pretty good at storytelling. I think they know like that they can balance it out.
So
That it's
you've
not
got
just gonna
faith with
be.
Insomniac over making sure that
I
everything's
do.
quality.
I do.
Okay.
I was like, oh, this looks great. I have no complaints. It's Spider-Man. The first one was great. I think this one's gonna be great.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's good. That's good. You have faith with it. I'm a little more cynical when it comes to that, just because like look at like BioWare for example. Everybody slips up every now and then, and
That's
CD
true.
Project Red like they, sometimes they
Yeah,
take on too much and they fuck it up.
Too
So
much step.
yeah.
But
yeah. Too
BioWare
much.
is 2 for
Yep.
2 in slips though. Fucking
Mm,
with Andromeda and Anthem.
They fucking
yeah.
sleeping.
Yeah,
Bethesda
that shit kind of
Bethesda's been
just
slipping
like
up with Fallout and a couple other things. So,
76.
yeah. So
Nah,
yeah,
but
it happens,
BioWare
but
definitely shit the bed though.
it's nice to still
Maybe
have
their
faith though.
specialty is Spider-Man.
But to be fair, like the faith should still be there because like this is another game that we want to talk about that they showed on the PlayStation Showcase. No gameplay or anything like that, but apparently Insomniac is they got their plate full because they released another trailer for another Marvel game they're making, which is Wolverine.
Yeah.
They're doing
Oh yeah,
Wolverine.
That
that's
All
game ain't coming out anytime soon, though. I think
yeah,
it's
probably I would
2025.
assume not, but like all they showed was like some guy on a bar and it looked like the whole place was a wreck. Somebody beat up everybody in there and you just see the guy like about to fight another guy. They do a close up of his hands and he pops his claws and then just title screen. And that was enough for everybody. Everybody was going crazy with
I
that cuz
mean,
go ahead, Randy.
it seemed like it was gonna go down like the old man Logan route, except like midlife crisis Logan, if anything.
Mhm.
Because he definitely okay. Because in Old Man, like he refused to pull his claws out, and when he finally did, like all you saw was just like blood. But
Yeah.
there you saw that like his knuckles were really fucking bruised. So he's probably like getting close to that vow of like never pulling out his claws,
Mhm.
but he's still like being tested. So it's interesting because the jump from like X-Men to Old Man Logan was like really extreme. Um,
You mean the
I'm
movies?
super. No, 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 have you read the comics?
Oh yeah, Old Man Logan is one of my favorite Wolverine
Yeah,
comics. Yeah.
yeah. So you could tell like it's gonna be really interesting. I hope that they go with the darker version, and I'm pretty excited for it. Like I have high hopes for it, but that's only because I really enjoy Old Man Logan.
Mm-hmm. Danny, what about you?
What about it?
Is there anything like that you expect this game to be?
Well, the problem is you shouldn't to know anything. They usually do a great job with the Wolverine series. I mean, they have it. They're not I mean, some of them are the best, but they're not bad either.
X-Men Origins, the video game, was pretty dick.
Yeah. I mean, you would assume a Wolverine game would pretty much be a hack and slash, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Or it's gonna like Devil May Cry or something, but they might, change it up and make it, who knows, do a Dark Souls version of it or something. It is impossible to do it.
Oh man, and Hulk is one of the bosses. You do the Wolverine versus Hulk comic story.
The biggest thing, the biggest thing on those is also it's just a story of what story they're gonna go with.
Yeah.
If they're gonna go Old Man Logan, then you need to really deep dive into it. You're not just pussyfoot around like the movie did.
Because that's why
they were still trying to aim for that PG-13 in there.
Yeah, if anything, it's going to be a prequel to Old Man.
Yeah, well, you can't really do a prequel because he doesn't pop his balls out. So, I mean, it'll have to be to that point where he said, "Fuck this, I'm done," and maybe make its own little story afterwards. Because it was just "Fuck this, I'm done." He killed all the Hulks, and that was it.
There is. So I found out there is a continuation to that Old Man Logan thing, and it's actually not that great because he goes searching for the rest of the Hulk gang that killed his family, and he starts going on the rampage and stuff like that. So like. It definitely can't. The game can't take place before he popped his claws because then what is there to a Wolverine game? So it has to be after.
No. That's what I'm saying.
So again,
I
Old
think
Man
the
Logan.
Story, everybody loves Old Man Logan. Everybody sees that as like but you can't really like a video game storyline wise. That's not why that the two doesn't match because it's a great story. It's a great slow paced story with a slow burn that slowly builds up and then it's like holy fuck. But it's all story. Yeah, they throw some crazy character in them, but it's not a game. Now, a good one would be the Death of Wolverine. Because the Death of Wolverine comic, that whole series led to him seeing a lot of bosses, a lot of people fighting a lot of different things. And kind of dying at the end of that, obviously.
Yeah.
But they can introduce a lot of those characters and do it that way. Ultimately, I think they're not going to do any story. They'll probably make their own story.
I think so too.
That's what really is going to happen. But at least if they need to stay close to the something as much as they can, and introduce a lot of interesting characters, X2, things like those are very important to the comic, and then you can spin off with X2 if you wanted to, or have just a skin.
I finally bring back the real X-Force, not the Deadpool version. Letty, what are your thoughts on the Wolverine thing?
I definitely want to see gameplay. I know it's just a title screen, whatever, but I want to see how it actually plays out. I don't think it's gonna be bad.
I don't think we'll see gameplay till 2023.
Yeah, it's gonna be a long while.
Probably.
Sure.
I could see that.
Oh, we got Spider-Man. That's fine.
We got Spider-Man in 2023. That comes out 2023.
Yeah.
If that comes out 2023, like I said, you're not gonna see any footage for the Wolverine until 2023.
Yeah. Oh, that hurt when I saw that release date. Oh. Wow. 2023 for Spider-Man. So, all right. So the next game we're going to touch on is God of War Ragnarok. They actually showed gameplay. They actually showed more of the story. It's a continuation of the first game. I did a little bit of reading, and they released a couple of photos of the other characters that they're going to show, such as Thor, which is got a lot of weird reception because he's not exactly what people expected Thor to look like. But he's Thor from Endgame with the belly and all. But apparently, the guys working on the story and stuff, they said that this is actually very Norse mythology accurate, which is why he looks like that. Aside from that, people are also kind of confused that this is actually going to be the last part of this storyline. So it's only 2 games. So this is the final part. They're going to finalize the whole Norse mythology series with the second game, Ragnarok. And they said mostly it's because if they did a trilogy, you'd practically be waiting 15 years for the entire trilogy story to end. And they don't want you waiting anymore. They kind of want to move on to the next project, which may be the next mythology that Kratos might move on to, or maybe another project in general. Who knows?
Somebody needs to tell that same concept to Final Fantasy remake
Yeah.
part 2.
But Danny, I want to hear your thoughts first because I know I think it was you I was talking to. You said you weren't really that crazy about it because it looks pretty much the same.
That's the only thing. I am. It's not that I'm not crazy about it. I am crazy about it. I want to play it. I can't wait to play it. I love the original, but I'm just a little disappointed that it looks exactly the same. It
Mhm.
looks just like an exact continuation. It doesn't look more grand than the other one. It looks almost the same, and obviously they haven't showed much, but you got that grand when you play the other one. You got that grand kind of open world feel, in the boat or whatever, and it just felt big. And if you're gonna make a sequel, the sequel should be better. It should
Yeah.
be bigger. That's what a good sequel does. That's why we like the Psychonauts game. The first thing I told you was the perfect remake because they gave you everything, and I think they're gonna do that too. You're gonna have all your weapons and moves, and you're not gonna have to relearn it. I mean, they'll have a small tutorial in the beginning, but you won't have to re-get them, which should be great. But Psychonauts did the simple level design, and just blew it up and made it look like we had these huge level designs, even though they're kind of not still linear. And that's kind of what I want done. And the graphics and everything all look exactly the same too,
Mhm.
which is a little disappointing as well because this has been what 5-6 years,
Mhm.
whatever the hell it's been.
Yeah, sounds
It's
about
been
right.
quite a while to look the same. Granted, it did look great when it came out because it did come out on the tail end of the. Well, it came out in the beginning of the PS4, I think, right?
Mhm.
So
Yes.
I think so. I think it did. But still, I feel like they could have done just a little bit more with everything. But
Okay. Um, I liked what they showed. I'm sure it is going to be grander. I'm sure they just kind of showed
that's
that.
what I'm hoping. Yeah.
I'm sure that they just wanted to convey more of the emotional aspect of the game because there was a big focus in the last game. It wasn't like the first 3 games where it was just like I'm angry, I want vengeance, everything dies.
But even the first and second game, the second game had that like a few scenes of the mountain, that mountain man, one of the Titans walking with the mountain on top of his back, and you have to
Kronos.
climb the Titan. Yeah. And that was just like, oh my god, that looks awesome! I can't believe they're doing this, And compared to the first one, which was more hack and slash in Hades and whatever. But
Well, I mean, they did that with the serpent. Like, I mean, there's only
yeah,
so
but
much. There's only so much of the lore that they can interpret into these like grand things. Because the Titans were
Mhm.
literally Titans. They're huge. It's easy
but I'm
for
still,
you to
it still
convey that
gave it.
scale.
Yeah, exactly. But they still gave it something to give it that scale and give it that holy shit. This is a sequel. This is something else. This is
Hmm.
This is fun, and that's kind of what I want. Like I want them to go up to Olympus and just have a giant fucking Olympus, or whatever the fuck they're at, whatever Olympus.
Yeah, I'm curious. I'm calling it right now. I'm gonna do a prediction with this. Is that since this is gonna be the last game, and this is like Ragnarok, end of the world, he's probably gonna kill off all the rest of the Norse. I think his son's gonna die, and I think he's gonna be pissed off yet again that he lost his family, and he's gonna move on to someplace else. I think that's what's gonna happen.
Let's go to Mexico.
Because they very they very much the Aztecs Aztec
Hell
mythology.
yeah.
Hell yeah.
He's gonna
So
ride the fucking serpent of wind and
because
just
I
like
feel like
fuck everyone
they've
up.
really gotten
I don't
so
know.
emotional with him and his son, and towards the end, like they started to really truly bond a bit. That eventually he's gonna lose him again, and it's gonna be bad. You know how mad he's gonna be that he's gonna fuck up Odin. Like he is.
I don't fuck up Odin for no reason at this point.
Can you also like if this does come true, can you also predict that they bring back like the old QTE kind of shit, like with the old buttons?
Oh
Like the
yeah.
PlayStation
Well,
2 buttons?
they do that in the first game. In
No,
in
but I
last
mean
game.
like
Yeah.
the literal like
Oh, with
how,
Zeus.
yeah, those like shitty kind of PNG shits that like they had in the corners and whatever. Yeah.
My prediction
Yeah.
is that Kronos is gonna die, and
Kronos, Kratos.
Kratos, whatever.
Yeah.
Kratos is gonna
No.
die.
Who the fuck
Again.
is that?
Yeah, and
The god of trigger.
his son is gonna be the one who gets that rage and stuff like that, and then they're gonna have like a teenage version of him, and he can
You think
almost
he's gonna
look
take
and
over
have
the
yeah,
thing?
take
That
over the
actually wouldn't
mantle,
be so bad.
you know.
Because well, I
And
mean, I would like
you
that
have to man up his
to a
fucking
degree.
voice because you gotta give him the Randall
Yeah.
voice, but
No, I would like it to a degree in the sense of it's like, all right, so if it's gonna be, because what is it? We had our manly, hairy, badass dad phase of video games, and then
Yeah.
we started kind of going into like the underlings and shit. Because Last of Us did it with Joel, and then Last of Us Part 2 did it with Ellie, right? So if that's the case, then it's gonna be God of War did it with Kratos, and now with fucking Atreyu or whatever the fuck his name is,
Loki.
Loki with
Yeah.
with fucking Loki. If he's gonna take up the mantle, then it's gonna be something similar, if anything, because I don't think they're gonna like fast forward and make him into like a fucking full grown like Kratos adult. Because he grew up. He definitely fucking matured from what the first game was to now. Like he hunts and he looks like Jaden Smith now, and that's about it.
Yeah.
But
they can do a full teenage version where, you know, 18, 20 or whatever you're. And
no, it'll be DOW God of War.
Yeah.
And do it like 10
DMT.
Although that could happen, and I would be highly upset if they did, to be honest. Like I want to see Kratos go through, just mow down every legendary character we've ever known in life.
That would be pretty cool though.
That's what I want to see. I want Kratos to last forever.
Instead of a span of 3 games.
They can do. Like I'm bringing it back to Devil May Cry again. They could do what they did at Devil May Cry. People didn't like. Well, to me, I don't think that people really liked that. Nero is his name.
Nero.
Nero was in 4.
I don't think they really liked him as much. So in the last one, that's what they did. You play as him in the beginning, but you're searching. You basically end up finding fucking Dante, and then you start playing as Dante, and it's like, holy shit, this is how it should be. You know, you haven't played it.
Well, but you said though, like your prediction is that Kratos dies, so there's no chance that we'll be playing him. We'll be playing as Atreus, whatever it may be.
It's a fucking he
goes right
back.
I assumed
goes back to hell. Fucking goes right back to hell and tries to find his father. He tries to get.
Well, I assumed that you were just saying that he was going to take over the mantle. I thought you were just saying he's taking over the mantle, and then that'll be it.
No. You take it over the mantle the same way.
What is that, Kevin? I can't see.
The Nero took over the mantle.
I'm playing Mega Man because I was waiting for my turn. Patiently, as I hear screaming at each other.
I wanted to know, like, truly, like, what Danny meant by it, but like, I get it. Yeah, and you could like twist shit around and kind of be like, okay, we saved him from hell, and now he's back again and stuff. But
the Raiden did the same, you know, Metal Gear Solid, you know.
Yeah.
Most of the game, Raiden, and then at the end of the game, he came. I mean, you didn't get to play him, but you
found him.
They made, but you found him. And comes back and you play as him, and that really give you like, oh fuck yeah, I'm playing as Kratos again.
Kevin, how you like the God of War stuff?
And he's younger because he just came from hell. Yeah, so he don't have the dad bod no more.
Listen, Loki was out here fucking hitting people with that ghost deer. That shit had me.
Yeah, that was cool.
I was like, what kind of shit is this? And
he did Expecto Patronum on him or some shit.
Yeah, exactly. For me, I've never played these. The newer God of Wars. He's not. Got it. No, but I've never played the remakes or the newer God of Wars. I've played the older ones. But like seeing it now makes me want to play it, especially like the ground bounce and all that stuff. Because I know I love combos. Yeah, so I saw that and I was like, give me. I want more. And then I saw the deer and I was like, give me more. Give me like he was just beating the shit out of him with the deer, and I was like, you know what? I don't like God of War, but I'm sold. Give me that deer. But I like it. Graphics look good. I'm glad. Like I felt like this was the ending of the story for I would say Ragnarok. And I'm actually glad. I'm actually looking forward to what they're gonna do next. Like, it doesn't matter if it's his son, if it's him, if like it's the deer by itself. You know, as long as the story continues and it's just as amazing as the other ones, I'm looking forward to it.
And I think, did we get your thoughts?
But her first, I'll go last.
Yeah.
Well, I haven't played the whole series, so as like an outsider, it looks good, and it's definitely something I would have to probably play the previous games to actually fully enjoy.
Buy the trilogy. Like they sell a package like super cheap, so you could play all 3 of them at least. Like they're like PSP games also, which kind of touch like in between
Chains of
Olympus and Ascension. Yeah. So those kind of like touch in between those moments from 1, 2, and 3.
5 games.
Yeah. Which you don't really need, but it kind of just fills in more backstory of Kratos and how fucked up he is and what he's been through. Why he's always so angry.
1, I think Chains 2 and 3. Because I know Ascension is basically Kratos' origins.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's the type of thing you just
really
binge
fucking
it.
good. It's really goddamn
yeah,
good.
you can binge through it. Like you don't have to collect shit and just worry. Like just play through it super quick and
It's not a game to
you'll get it.
100%.
Yeah, it's not one of those games. Yeah, Randy, what are your thoughts, real quick?
I'm actually very excited for it. I wasn't into Dad of War 1, but Dad of War Ragnarok, or Ragnarok, if you will. Actually, I'm pretty like I'm looking forward to it. Now the whole Fat Thor thing, it's like Norse gods drink a lot of mead, so it's like straight beer. So it's that like redneck beer belly strength kind of thing that they have.
Mm-hmm.
I do like the progression they did with Atreus, and my favorite line had to be when Thor was asking Kratos if he was calm and reasonable, because it was just Final Fantasy chaos again. He's like, "You look calm and reasonable. Are you calm and reasonable?"
No,
And
I
it's
am
like, "Well,
chaos.
I'm chaos." Also, it seems like Kratos might fall back into his Spartan ways though, because one thing was that his son asked him like not to think like a dad, but to think like a general,
Mm-hmm.
and he was literally just like, "No, like fuck that."
Mm-hmm.
So there might be a slip up. So it's probably gonna be Loki that does die, as you said, and then Kratos is gonna be that Spartan fucking warrior.
I know
one more
you're
time.
super into the Norse mythology too, aren't you?
Norse and Greek.
Yeah.
So
So what do you think? What do you
Greek
think
more
of
so
the
than
god of war facing the god of war?
First off, Tyr is tall as shit.
Yeah.
Tyr is like 9 feet tall. No, him and Lady D, match made in heaven right there.
Match made in heaven.
Hell yeah. But I don't think you're gonna fight Tyr, because
No?
he seemed pretty like he seemed pretty like I feel like Tyr would understand where Kratos is coming from.
Mm-hmm.
So it's gonna be a thing of understanding and you get him as an instant ally, but he might turn coat on you. Even if it's not intentionally, it'll be kind of like if Atreus does die and Kratos does go on a fucking rampage, it's gonna be Tyr against Kratos to stop Kratos' rampage, to save face for all the Norse gods.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, obviously we'll have to see. But either way, I actually am really excited for this one.
Yeah.
So I probably won't play fucking the new God of War, but I definitely will play Ragnarok.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, at the very least, you could at least go through the story easily, like on a YouTube video or something.
Oh yeah, no, of course.
Okay, so I know Danny's excited for this one. You guys can talk amongst you real quick before so I can make myself another drink. So Tiny Tina's Wonderland. That's the next one coming out. That is a spin-off game from the Borderlands series. Everyone knows Tiny Tina. So you guys talk amongst yourselves. Randy, what do you think?
Yeah, because I wanted to know last weekend, and I'm getting cut off. My laptop died.
You want to know what?
What you thought of Tiny Tina?
Oh well, I mean, at first, like just off of seeing the name and whatever the fuck, I did think that it was just gonna be like a bigger version of the DLC for 2. That wasn't too exciting for me personally, because I mean the DLC was amazing, but if you're just gonna like copy and paste what the fuck it was, then that's gonna be really boring to me.
No.
Now there was that, and also the fact that I didn't enjoy Borderlands 3 because the writing was like it wasn't what it was for 1, 2, and pre-sequel. The whole thing just felt very, very different. It felt too woke and too modern, and it's like 2K and Gearbox lost what made them who they were. But then seeing like gameplay and just like how everything was from here, they're taking the world from the DLC, they're expanding it, they're adding more mechanics, weapons, and characters from what it seems to what 3 was, and going back to writing how they used to.
Yeah.
So it I do have really high hopes for it, and it did sell me entirely, because it's, what is it, crossbows, magic, you could do a wheel magic, fucking the melee that like there was there, charging somebody with this fucking sword. It's what you want. They're basically bringing back 2, and 2 was the fucking peak of Borderlands.
Yeah.
I mean,
I never
good
got to
fuck for
play
them.
2. I played 3 and I liked 3. I had a lot of fun. I liked the
But the thing is
mechanics
that
of
if you
3.
play 3 and that's all that you've played from the Borderlands series, that's what you're gonna
I
like,
played
because
1 and
that's what
1
you're
and 3,
introduced
but
to.
yeah.
No, 1 was really slow. 1 was like it got you into the whole looter shooter,
Yeah.
FPS RPG type shit. If you like the concept of it, then all right, no problem. Because it was just like a big fucking area with emptiness, it did fall very, very flat.
No.
But 2 and pre-sequel definitely expanded on that because it was more weapons, better writing, and they kind of just like went all out with what they needed to do. 2 was the best mechanically, and like, dude, if fucking it's gonna be just a standalone game where it's everything from before, sign me the fuck up. Like I want it. I really really want it.
I just thought it looked great. I love magic in games. I really do. I mean,
So we're playing this.
Yeah, definitely.
We
Like I
still
love
need to do
magic in
Dungeons and
games,
Dragons.
and most times when I create a game like that,
I have the rule book over here somewhere.
like most times when I make a game like that, I play a character. The first thing I choose is a summoner, or is some type of spellcaster.
Hmm.
So like when I saw all the spells and all the crazy stuff you can do, I was like, oh, this is gonna be so much fun. I can't wait for this game.
And then also that it looks like you could mix and match to do what you want to, because like they were dual wielding magic, or if not, they had like one thing in one hand and another spell in the
Yeah.
other one.
Yeah.
So it's you could be a battle mage, a full mage, or just a fucking melee specialist.
No,
So there's a
just-
variety to it that looks good.
which I'm really excited for because I think that's what the last one was missing. I mean, it went too straightforward for the past. The past didn't really change that much. I feel like
Yeah.
every time you got some items in a tree, it wasn't really anything special.
Hmm.
Even the final moves, a lot of them were like, okay, I
Yeah.
don't care.
Because before we go to the next one, I know I keep harping about this when it comes to Borderlands 3, but there's always one tree that doesn't matter. Whereas in 2, it's like you could literally mix and match 2 different trees of whatever the fuck it is. So you have at least like 9 different fucking variations of how you can play the character. So there's more variety as opposed to just like this one set meta to 3, where it's like you either max out one or max out the other one, but either way it's still just 2 that you're using. So you're not fully utilizing what your character could actually do to your own play style. That like no one plays the game the fucking same. No one plays any game the fucking same. Even when it comes to, I'll chug the beer. Even when it comes to fucking Kevin and I playing fucking 2, he plays grounded, I play aerial. That's just how the fuck we are, and that's it. Other people play magic base, and
Yeah, but I think that's where I think they look too much into WoW on this, where it's like WoW has if you're a warlock and you want to do
Kevin, you almost done.
then if you're a warlock and you want to do GPS, you going down a certain tree. There is no real variation. That
no,
is the
but
best
that
class.
that's in terms of class things. Like warlock is solely DPS, mage is solely DPS. If you want to do
Yeah, so
druid, you can do
that's what I'm saying.
DPS,
I'm
tank, or
saying,
healing. Like it based on
yeah,
how you're playing, it's more variety. But here, it's just do what the fuck you want. So
but
you have all
even
these things.
if you're tanking, there's only one way to tank. No
Mhm.
matter what your tree is, no matter all the stuff you have in a tree, there's only one thing you should choose. And I think that's kind of what they kind of saw here. It's like if you want to
Cheers, sober Danny.
Cheers.
if you want to be
you guys are
a
just
thing,
chatting it up. It's okay.
if you want to, it's just, and that was the part that was funny. It's just there was only one real way to do each class. You want to be a beastmaster, this is how you did it.
Mhm.
And I think that's they need to stay away from that. They need to be able to.
No, since I left
choose
you
all
guys
your shit and
alone,
have
did you guys let anybody else speak?
No.
Nah,
That's what I was like.
I
I
skipped myself on this one. I skipped myself on this one.
So Kevin or
Alright,
Letty, you got any opinions on this before we move on?
I think they said everything.
Okay.
Yeah,
we talked enough.
It wasn't even that. It wasn't even that they didn't give us a chance to talk. They talked about everything. So even if we said anything, we'd just be like,
Repeating
"Yeah, we'll play
yourself.
it."
Yeah.
Yeah, we're repeating that.
What they said.
Yeah.
So is it a mass consensus of yes?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just,
Yeah, I'm down for
Yeah.
this game
Alright,
too.
cool.
Yeah.
If it's 5 players, we're good.
What's
Oh,
funny,
shit.
when I saw the trailer, I had no clue what that was. I'm like,
Really?
what is this game? I didn't from the first trailer. I didn't see the intro or whatever. I'm like, what is this? This is like Borderlands, but it's magic.
Oh, wow.
And
Wow.
because I never did the tiny, and I was just like, oh, this is awesome. And then as a teeny, I'm like, this is fucking teeny tiny. I
Yeah.
want to play this.
He
The
came
trailer
in-
It
was
was
really
interesting though that they were like, "Oh, the Dragon Lord's back," and then it was like someone that wasn't Handsome Jack, because he was the antagonist of the DLC for Thing. So yeah,
Nah.
I was really confused about that, but like, I mean, fucking retcons left and right. It's fine, whatever.
Well,
As long as
it's
it
a
plays
fantasy
well-
story. I think she's like telling a story or some shit like that, or
Mhm.
she's playing
She's
a
the
game,
dungeon-
isn't
she's
she?
a dungeon master.
She's a DM.
Yeah,
she's
so
a
she's
DM.
just
She's
she's just
playing the
messing
game.
around.
She was
She's
direct
doing-
message.
No, she's a dungeon master, and you're playing her game, and it's just you're in
Ooh,
her game. And she's making.
ooh. Can we talk about the overworld where like you're playing the pieces?
No, I didn't see that. Is that how
No, 'cause
the map is?
I hope it is, but it's like they showed the gunplay, they showed your characters and like all the different things that you can fucking do, but then they also showed a board where it's like a big headed version of your character, just like a tiny body, giant ass head running along like the entire map. That looked so fucking
yeah,
cool.
Hmm. Okay.
They didn't have that in the fucking.
This is making me want to play D&D more, actually. So,
Yo, we out.
yeah, we need to set that shit
we have
up
a
at some
5-man
point.
right here.
The thing is that like you know how complicated those fucking D&D apps are, like the websites and stuff like that. So it's just like we gotta take
You can't even get Twitch to work.
we gotta
We
we gotta
play Baldur's Gate.
Yeah, I know, right? I can't even get Twitch and OBS to work. What the fuck am I gonna do with a D&D website? Yeah. So
take a
yeah,
whole
maybe
ass
maybe
hour
we
to
should
set
leave
up
it to
everything
Danny
else.
because Danny is like the veteran D&D player compared to all
Is
of
he?
us. Yeah, he is. He's the one who taught me.
What was his character? Was he the
Danny was
the
your midget
bucket
with a
head?
bucket on the head. Remember him?
There, that's him. That's him.
I was a midget with the bucket in my head.
I've heard of that one. He told me about that before.
I
They
was,
would just like fuck with everybody.
yeah.
So now I have a fucking face to the character,
Yeah.
Oh
I
man,
mean, it was fun. It was real good.
and it comes
I-
full circle.
it does.
It
You
was funny.
inspired,
I
you
had
inspired
'cause
me,
my
man.
first character I had was a mage, and he lasted like 2 fucking minutes when I blew myself up. So I did. So as like a made up, I had to make a character quick, and I made the citizen character, the bucket boy.
And then he used to trip us up on purpose, just fuck with us.
Basically, we
with
were
the
in jail. We were in jail, and started off in jail. And I'm looking for anything to use as armor. So I'm taking a rock, making a shank type of shit. And they had my bucket, and I'm gonna put that on my head. I'm fucking put holes in it, and that's my helmet. And he's like, "Yeah, you got some defenses, technically."
Fucking-
Yeah.
2 years
And
later,
I'm
we
like, "Fuck
finally
that."
met.
I think in the game, I think I went to like an armor smith, and so I want this +3 whatever armor, but I want it to be shaped like a bucket.
So you reinforced your bucket.
Yeah.
he doubled down on it. That's
Oh
it.
man, that's so good.
He just put metal plating on
I
a
love
fucking
it.
wooden bucket.
And then I had these little kids that were like a cult following. I was like, "Bucket boy," and I was able to hide as a rogue with all the little kids. Everybody loved the little bucket boy.
Yeah.
Oh man.
All right. So yeah, we need to start working on that at some point. Maybe we could we could stream it live one day or something, but we'll see how that goes out.
Just imagine getting progressively more and more drunk as it goes on.
Yo,
man.
yeah, that's like we could just
That-
drink
that-
from beginning
that's
to
the
end.
goal.
Hell yeah.
Because it's like do the stream.
I'll be the only sober one because I don't drink. So I mean,
Well,
not
you be
really.
You're in charge of saving.
you'll be the DM, so you have to be sober.
Okay, the problem, the problem I always say with this is that, I mean, I could probably do it, but the problem is the reason why I had a lot of fun is that my DM was a great storyteller.
Yeah, he was.
He loved to write fiction. That's what he did on the side. He wrote fiction books. Sadly, all his main characters and his stories died. That was his thing. He loved to love his main characters.
Well,
At
so
some
here's
point.
the thing
So
though,
you
like
gotta hit the
especially
inspiration
for most of us who are either novices or haven't played in a long time, you could always like you don't have to be so creative. You could always use the books for now.
Yeah, there are.
Yeah, I would
pre-mades
do
now.
one of
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. I would do one of those pre-mades and whatnot.
Yeah, yeah. All right.
But I mean,
so-
also, I feel like you could put your own twist on it because you are kind of a.
Oh, yeah,
dickhead,
yeah.
So
You
like,
can- yeah,
you really
you could
fuck
still
with us.
you could still throw twists and stuff from the books. You don't have to
course,
you don't have
yeah.
to follow it like exactly. All right. So yes, the next game we're going to talk about real quick is the Alan Wake remaster. It is not a remake, it is a remaster. I'm excited for this one personally because I'm an Alan Wake fan. I'm a Remedy fan. I love Control. I think this is a good sign that they're doing a remaster because hopefully that'll lead into an Alan Wake 2, which also could lead into like a crossover with Control since they're all in the same world and everybody knows it. So that is, I thought that was really cool. So I'm excited for it. It looks really good. The lighting is still just as awesome as it was when it first came out because the technology back then was like impressive. Not so much now if you look at the original, but the
It still plays
remaster will
well,
look
though.
even better. It still plays well. Yeah, I think so. Kevin, I haven't heard from you in a while. We're talking about Alan Wake remaster.
No. So the funny thing is this goes back to when I was going to the store to buy stuff for the PlayStation. I saw Alone in the Dark for PlayStation 2.
Oh
And
God.
and I was like, should I get it? And then I was like, no, because I've never played the game, so like I can't say I look interested. The game looks it looks spoopy as always. The light thing happening, and I was like, that looks good. I don't know if I'm gonna play it. I need to see somebody play it to understand if I would like it, but I had a hard time playing The Evil Within, and that it's not even about it being scary. It's more like if it doesn't scare me the entire game, I'm just gonna be aggravated.
The Evil Within is a different type of horror than Alan Wake. Alan Wake is more of
suspense.
It's more. That's a good way to put it. It's more suspense. It's not like body horror or what do you call it? When they pop up, jump scares. They don't do jump scares and things like that. It's more of just a suspense of like these shadow people.
Much, one thing that so one, I love Stephen King. Two, they never fucking stop mentioning Stephen King and Alan Wake, and it gets like really fucking annoying at some point. But you do kind of see where they drew inspiration from him because of all like the fucked up shit that happens. It's not body horror as fucking Danny said. It's just reality horror. Everything around you is fucked up, and you have to deal with it. And you're the only one that sees it too.
But I already deal with that in my normal life. I don't want to deal with that in the game.
Have any of you guys seen this movie? And I know Danny has seen it before. In the Mouth of Madness.
Yeah,
that movie.
So that's a lot. It's a lot like Alan Wake. Like it's like he goes into this town. He's kind of trying to settle down. Like obviously very different stories, but he goes to this town. He tries to settle down and stuff. And this town isn't what it seems, and it's kind of like it fucks with his head. So it takes
Silent Hill.
Yeah, in a sense too. Silent Hill, yes, but Silent Hill is still more body horror and jump scares.
Yeah,
and stuff like
no.
that.
But Silent Hill is based off of what the fucking character's offense was. Like what? Sorry, not offense. Offense. Like
yes,
it's Silent Hill is just fucks with
like
you
a personal
based on what
hell.
you did wrong. Yeah. Alan Wake doesn't necessarily do anything wrong. It's just like there's some weird kind of savant shit going on where like he's writing his own story, and even though there's like literal spoilers handed to him, he doesn't process these things. Because you know the pages that you find, like it literally tells you what's gonna happen next, but he doesn't like understand that. Yeah.
It reminds me of a game I'll probably find a game that I'll probably try watching somebody play it before I get into it. It doesn't seem like my cup of tea, but I would love to watch games like that because I'm guessing it has an amazing story, correct?
It does.
Yeah. So that's the issue that I have, that if it's not my cup of tea, but it has a good story, I would watch it for the story, but I won't play the game myself.
And they seem to be creating
fine.
Control.
Yeah.
Kind of interesting.
See,
they also did Quantum Break, which wasn't as well received, but they went really deep into that thing. Yeah. No, Quantum Break was a TV show to tie into the game. It wasn't based off a TV show.
What I mean is that they had the game and they had the TV show that was like happening at the same time.
Right.
So it felt like kind of too much to take in because it's like you play the game, you do this story. Because Quantum Break was one story in itself, and the game was the other side of the coin.
Right.
So it's literally two paths meeting in the same point, but it's just like, why the fuck should I, if anything? If you're not interested, you're not interested.
I think they were trying to pull some shit because, like, the Remedy games, like in Alan Wake, you can watch literal television in some of the cabins, and the television shows were like the Twilight Zone, like their version of the Twilight Zone. You could watch like almost full episodes on the television there, and then in Control is the same thing. You could watch these television shows and clips, and
every single chapter of Alan Wake was like it ended like a TV show, and it's like, oh, next time on Alan Wake, and then it began like previously on Alan Wake. Yeah, and you're like, I don't need the fucking recap. I want to play the fucking game.
I just played it 2 minutes ago.
Yeah, so you're sitting there with your thumb up your ass and whatever. But in terms of Remedy games, like Alan Wake, I do prefer a lot more than Control. So I'm with Kevin on like, I understand where he's coming from in terms of like, if you don't like the story, you can just watch it. Because Control doesn't really interest me that much. The only thing I do like about it is the fact that that Alan's flashlight is in the game. Like they allude to it.
Yes.
So it's like, you know, that something's like fucked up with it, and then that's like, oh wait, this is where they cross paths. But I'd much rather watch someone play Control than play it myself.
There's like 3 different actually little tidbits towards Alan Wake in that game.
Yeah, but I mean the biggest one being the flashlight.
Aside from actual references from like videos or the items, there are lots of documents talking about the town, this guy that that this writer, like, but they never actually gave a name, but you know who we're talking about. Like there's a lot of documents, stuff you see, that kind of stuff. I love the story of Control more so than Alan Wake, actually.
Yeah, it is. This is much better story, I think. Okay. But it talks about the town as being an event, and how all those things are of power. Power, I think it was. They considered it to be. It was
Object
an
of
event of
power.
power. No, but this with the Alan Wake town was an event of power or a town of power or some shit. It was like that escalated, and the whole entire town was an object of power. And they talked about the lighter being obviously whatever the light
Mm-hmm.
or whatever it was being an object of power, but it talks about how these events happen, and they were there to try to control them.
Ooh.
You know, and it's really interesting storyline, like the way that they you see them tying all the worlds together just from control alone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And because of that, it's really good.
Yeah, I like that. Tati, before we move on.
Well, I didn't even know about the previous one. This was like my intro to the series or whatever, but I thought it was super interesting. I love thriller, horror, all of those types of video games and movies, so this was kind of right up my alley, and it's something I would play, not watch, but actually play.
Okay, cool. So you give it a chance. The remaster we're
Mhm.
talking about, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. All right, so the next one we got going is not a remaster, but a remake, and this was one of the first ones that they announced during the showcase. Knights of the Old Republic, the remake.
I'm gonna give my 2 cents in real quick because I got to go take a piss real quick.
Okay.
I'll finally get a chance to play it, so I am excited for it. So I'm gonna.
You never played it?
I never played it.
Oh,
we discussed it before.
Go.
It's like I've seen it. I've been pretty excited to like, because I never had a chance to play it because I was like, I don't know, I was like a fucking kid. I was
yeah.
so really
Oh,
young
understandable.
Then.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I never got a chance to play it or whatever. Fuck. At most I just had like PS2, never like the Xbox, the first one.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, with that, like now that they're actually remaking it, I'm looking forward to it. So I could finally play it, and if anything, I'll probably do the original at some point whenever the fuck can happen. I'm gonna go.
This is probably rough to watch right now.
Yeah, it probably is.
Slow paced because
man, yeah, the graphics, the story, the gameplay was a bit janky.
Yeah. It was just the storyline was really good, and then the create your own path.
Yeah,
it's really good. Being a darker light, I feel like they never done that in any of the games. You were always Luke Skywalker or Han Solo, whatever it was. You always Luke guy. And this, they were like, no, you're gonna be a bad guy too. Well, go full down, go full Sith. You want to have fun. Just see the worlds of the Sith and how they work. If you want build your own lightsaber, put those together. It was like it was more immersive than any of the games, especially for a Star Wars fan. I love Star Wars, but I'm not like dressing up as fucking in a cape anytime soon type of thing. But still, it's just the fact you can make lightsaber, things like that, and just go down through the paths was just at the time interesting. And that's why a remake is perfect. A remaster won't do any justice. It's like, this game doesn't hold up. That sucks.
Yeah.
But a remake, it's like we could do a lot with this.
So that's confirmed. Danny does not wear capes, but he does wear helmets. Yes. Kevin, yes. What about you? What about the KOTOR game?
I don't. That's why I got 3 kids. But I'm pumped.
I got that.
my little ears can handle this. This is actually one that I missed, so I'm gonna go and watch it. I'll come back to me. I'm gonna watch the trailer because this is the one that I missed. And
the trailer, yeah, because it was super quick in the beginning.
Yeah, it came at the worst time. So go to Lefty. Come back.
Have you ever played the original KOTOR game, the Knights of the Old Republic Star Wars game?
I haven't. So this would be again, like just like Randy said, my introduction to it.
So just imagine Mass Effect in the Star Wars universe. That's the closest gist to it, as you can say.
Seen it.
That's really good. That's a really good comparison. It's the Mass Effect.
Yeah,
it's BioWare.
It's by BioWare. It's the same people. I mean, BioWare made Star Wars first, so I guess they kind of took what they learned in KOTOR and used it for Mass Effect. I think I remember them actually saying a long time ago that Mass Effect was their way of trying to make their own Star Wars universe. And they succeeded for what it's worth, aside from Andromeda. Yeah. But yeah, KOTOR was really good RPG, and they had this like light and dark meter, so you could make these decisions, and one goes up or the other goes up or down and whatever. And then like towards the end, you're kind of like either good or bad, and it kind of determines how the story goes in the ending. And the ending was a huge twist back then in the gaming community. I don't know if they would change it, I would, because it's not being done by BioWare. It's by somebody else. And I can't remember who it is if anyone wants to look that up. But it's being remade by somebody else. And even if they're gonna stay true to what the majority of the game, I would think they want to change some things to kind of keep it more fresh and unpredictable. Because knowing the twist to the end now, kind of just like, okay, I already know what's gonna happen. What's the point?
Yeah, for everyone who has played it, you don't want the same thing over. You want something new.
Mm-hmm.
Hit me with that mix up, baby. I don't want to know what's coming next.
Exactly, Kevin.
I like it. Can I just say that and walk off? No. I like it. It gives me the well, if it's a light and dark situation, then it's gonna remind me of Infamous. Is it like that? Like decisions that you make affect your character's, like, I guess, meter, like your good or bad meter?
It does.
Like
It also affected some of the powers that you're allowed to use and get.
All right, so I'm automatically gonna join the dark side because I like lightning. Like,
yeah.
Zap zap.
I think lightning was just for dark, wasn't it, Danny?
It was, yeah. That's why everybody did it.
Yeah, just give me the dark side. That's it. I'm already sold. But I'll try it out. I've never played it. I wanted to try it. It's not like the same as the Old Republic, right? That's a
no, very, very different.
So then I'll try that out and I'll play it and see if I like it. That's something that I'm gonna go in blind and try it out. Honestly.
The remake?
The remake.
Okay. Okay. Well, yeah. I mean, like Danny was saying, like if you play the original now, it probably didn't age that well, so it would probably put you off, and you'd be wasting your money. It was so good and innovative at the time, but it's just not the same anymore. So it's due for a remake. Everyone's been itching for this remake, and finally they announced it. Randy, give you your thoughts. Letty hasn't played it yet. Did we give everybody?
It's
I have one thing I want to say about the Alan Wake real quick, because you never got me.
Mm-hmm.
I am tired of remasters of games that aren't that old.
Alan Wake is like 10 years old?
Yeah, but
that's not that old.
That's two generations. That's two generations of consoles.
Wait. Last time I played it was in 2013.
So that's really not that. I mean, I feel like that's less than 10 years. So
no, it next year it's going to be 10 years old.
But again, I think a good remaster should be a game that's great and you really miss, so you can get that nostalgic feel and bring it back. But I think the problem is that they're doing every fucking game that you played, but that's retro or classic and remastering it, where they could be putting resources to a sequel or something new. And that's kind of that's my problem that I'm having.
Well, okay, so here's a little bit of backstory with Alan Wake though. Here's the problem with that. So I know you're not that much of an Alan Wake fan, but there is a huge community for that game. They have been clamoring for a sequel, and what they got was American Nightmare, and people weren't happy with that. It was like it was a standalone DLC bullshit, and a lot of people weren't happy with it. And then they found out that the reason why they came out with that was because they lost the rights and had to ask Microsoft for a different studio to work on that game. And that's why the game was shit. That's why the game was short. That's why it wasn't the true Alan Wake sequel that people wanted. So ever since American Nightmare, which was I believe it was like an Xbox arcade like game. Yeah. We haven't heard anything since, and that's why when Control came out, people were clamoring. It was like, "Oh my god, they're connecting Alan Wake. We need an Alan Wake sequel. We need to do this. We need to do that." And then that's why the remaster happened.
But again, people were clamoring. The people who are I'm a fan of Final Fantasy now. Finish my shot.
Take a shot.
That's not even a shot. That's a whole glove.
That's fine. That counts. He doesn't have a shot glass, so whatever.
Final Fantasy. I'm a huge fan of Final Fantasy 7. If before the remake came out, if everybody was clamoring for a remake for God knows how long, right? If they told me, "Oh yeah, I know you guys want a remake, but here's the remaster version," I'm like, "Fuck you! I already beat the game. I beat the game, destroyed the game, did everything to the game. I don't want that. I want the remaster." And if you tell me, and you're telling me, like you said, you do, "Oh, here's the sequel that you guys asking for. Here's the remake," and it's shit, really pissed off.
Well, they didn't have to do
really
a remaster because they ported it to every fucking system
yes,
known to man,
yes.
including mobile.
Again, yes, that's why I'm just they saying this towards control towards
Alan Wake.
If you're a huge fan of Alan Wake, you're as big as a fan of them as Final Fantasy, and you want a sequel, you want a good sequel. The bullshit sequel comes out, you're like, fuck, they just so disappointed me. Give me a proper sequel to Alan Wake, and then instead of putting resources towards a good sequel, they put resources towards a remastered version, which is just like here's some crumb to keep you happy, which is. If you're a fan, if you're a huge fan, you played it, beat it, been there, done that.
Here's the thing with remasters. Here's the thing with remasters, and yes, I will admit that I'm sure a lot of remasters that come out, they're doing it as a cash grab. They're doing it as just like they would just want to get some money real quick. But big but, and I'm not saying this is a guarantee for any remaster, but a lot of people make these remasters not only to make the money, but to see how the reception is for the game. Because if the reception goes well, then they have come up with enough money to warrant an actual sequel.
But here's the thing: they've done that already. It's called Control.
Control's not a sequel to Alan Wake. Control focuses on a completely separate character, completely separate motivations, completely different difficulties.
It's still a similar world.
It's apples and oranges.
It's not really apples.
I just wanted to say
Kevin.
No, I'll say this.
Because if you told me,
wait. Drakengard and
Nier, two different
same
things.
universe, because it's the same timeline. Two different fucking games. Drakengard 2 goes into Nier Replicant, and Drakengard 3 continues a whole different fucking thing. Even though Nier and Drakengard are in the same universe, they're two separate fucking games. Control and Alan Wake are two separate fucking games in the same universe.
Yes, but what I'm saying is that they have the promotional. That is their free promotional that they use to what they're trying to do with remastered. Nobody's really gonna, unless you're a fan.
They're not promoting the remaster with Control.
No. I'm saying they're using Alan Wake Remaster as promotion to try to gain leverage to do a sequel.
Yes, absolutely. Saying, right? It's smart marketing. Yes.
But at the same time, they could be doing that with. They could just make another one. Or
no, they can't because they're unsure how the reception would be, especially with the new generation. Remember, Alan Wake is 2 console generations old. The people that love the Alan Wake community, the Alan Wake games, are just as old as us, if not older. Like the people that are 15, 16, 17 years old may not be receptive to the Alan Wake series now, which is why the remaster is testing the waters.
If you told me, I never played Alan Wake, if you told me that they're doing an Alan Wake sequel or another Alan Wake, and it's made by the same people who did the Control game, and it's going to be similar to...
We're talking about you, who knows Alan Wake already, who knows the series, who knows the character, who knows the game.
But I don't know Alan.
But you know it.
I know of it.
Yes.
I've never played. I know it has a flashlight. It's like the limit to my knowledge of it. That he beats people with flashlights.
You're making these assumptions based on your own criteria. You're not thinking outside of people who know nothing of. There are people out there who don't know nothing of Control, and they still and they're still trying to figure out what this Alan Wake thing is. All right, so
but again, the whole fact that the remasters are starting to become
a bad. Yes, I agree with that.
So, that's my point, and I'm tired of remasters. That they need to stop with these remasters and just put their issues they have towards either.
Just like Hollywood. Hollywood does not like to take risks with new IPs.
Yes, or brand new games, or as I'm saying, new IP. Because that's the biggest thing. Is everything we have is not a lot of the games that we're excited for is a new IP. That's what we're really excited for is the new shit.
Which we're going to talk on soon, actually.
Yeah.
Kevin, I want to hear Kevin about... I know Kevin's been wanting to say something about Alan Wake or whatever discussion we have.
No. So I was going to say I understand where Dan's coming from with the remakes and some remaster. Well, I was personally going to talk about remasters because I'm guessing you guys seen that they remade... Actually, they're just sending out again Kakarot and Sonic Colors.
Yes.
And
Sonic Colors Ultimate.
Yeah, and Sonic Colors Ultimate runs off on any console that you played on.
I heard, yeah.
Oh, that's so bad.
So and I love the game. I love Sonic Colors. The music is amazing, and that's the reason why I played the game. But I do understand that making a remake, remastered, and it being like like I would say a gen old, like fucking Last of Us. I felt like the remaster was unnecessary. Like certain games like that, like there are cherry picking moments that you could pick out about games that don't deserve it, but they just get it because whatever, like they just want to like either ask for more money or try to cash grab as much as possible. Like the director's cut for fucking
Ghost of Tsushima,
no,
Death
Ghost of
Stranding.
Tsushima, Death Stranding. They don't need it. Just give us
Mhm.
the DLC and just expand the game,
Mhm.
and then just go ahead or something. Like stop giving us remakes that is literally you just giving us the game that we just received. Alan Wake is different because it looks completely different from the game that I've seen. I saw the flashlight and him beating people with the flashlight, and I made a joke about it. But then I saw the original, and then I saw the remake, and I was like, "Oh, it looks nice. It looks a lot more prettier. Hopefully, it doesn't like time doesn't affect it as much. Like people like still love the game for what it is, but it's gonna have an amazing story regardless because that's what the game is about. The amazing story. The gameplay is just there to assist it as much, but the main focus is the story, which a lot of people love, obviously because there's fans like you and Randy.
I agree that it could be too soon for an Alan Wake remaster. Or it could be too, I think 10 years would be pushing it. That would be too soon for a remaster. I agree with Danny with all that stuff. I do agree. I do disagree though, however.
But a proper remaster game should be in a game that you're not really able to play. Like fucking what's the one
You
we
can
didn't
play
like?
anything nowadays.
Yeah,
Yes and
Like,
no.
Including
What
like
was
old Nintendo and ColecoVision and all that stuff.
give me
There are
yes
ways to
and
get
no.
play those
hold
games.
on,
What's
hold on.
the fucking Saga Frontier? The Saga Frontier game was a lost game, right? For a lot of people who don't play who just started to get into RPGs.
Mhm.
If you're just starting to get into RPGs, you're not gonna play Saga Frontier. Yes, it didn't fucking play as good as we thought or as we remembered, but still, it's one of those games that it needed a remaster, and it's a great game that remaster. Chrono Trigger, you know,
Are
Can
you
we
a
get a
fan of
remake?
Alan Wake?
Can
huh?
can
Are you a fan of Alan Wake?
No, because I have no opinion towards it.
So this is a biased
different.
opinion because you're excited
No.
about a remaster for Saga
Okay,
Frontier,
if
but
no,
you're
what
not
I'm
excited
saying is
for a
no, what
remaster
I'm
of a different
what
game.
I'm yes, what I'm saying is
But there
if
are people that
and
are
what I'm saying
excited
is
for a
in
remaster.
in another 10 years from now, it'll be 20 years from now when this game has gone away and the people who were excited for it be like, oh fuck, that was my Saga Frontier. You remember this game? You ever played this Alan Wake game that you blah blah blah?
Yeah.
And they remastered it. It's a way of going, look, everybody, you got to see this fucking game.
Yes.
It's redone now, and that's why I'm saying that a game that's disappeared needs to be remastered versus a game that you can probably go on the PlayStation now and fucking buy it right now.
So you
You
could
know,
do the same with Saga Frontier.
oh yeah, remastered, but not the original.
No,
one.
the
You can't.
original included. I, for one, have a
No.
copy myself
On what?
on my PlayStation.
And can I get a remaster of Legend of Dragoon, please?
I'm sorry,
I
not
just
my
want that.
PlayStation, my PSP.
That's yeah, but the
Oh,
PSP
yeah,
is a
right.
dead
No,
system,
I'm on.
so that's kind of my point.
Okay, my PS1 Classic, I can get it. I have it modded. You know, I could
And
download
yes,
that. They have
and again,
emulators on PCs. Like I'm
yes,
saying, there
yes,
are ways to
you're
get the
100%
game.
right. But that's yes, of course, there's ways to get everything. You can get fucking anything you want in the world. You don't have to get Alan Wake. But
Nothing has
we're talking
disappeared.
about we're talking about the people who don't do that, who only have the PlayStation, don't have the computer, they don't mod, they don't do all that crazy shit. To go, oh, what's this remastered game? We're talking about there. What the hell is that? What's this later on? Right now, you can do Alan Wake. Go on to it and pretty much download Alan Wake if you wanted to on the PlayStation now.
People who had a PlayStation couldn't play Mass Effect, but they still made a Mass Effect sequel. And
Which is
people,
another one. I don't agree with. I don't think you needed that one so soon. I really don't think you needed. You needed a proper sequel on that. You know, it's another one that the resources were
Dragon
wasted
Ball.
because the resources were wasted because instead of making a proper sequel, something fun and people like, they did a remaster of what people used to like instead of just continuing. And it's become a back crutch for when it because it's the easy thing to do. Is it like just had a cash grab?
It seems like every time we have these discussions, like I like partially agree with you, and like I agree, like there's sometimes that it's just too soon to do a remake, And you might be right. Even it may be too soon for an Alan Wake remaster, but at the same time, I think this will generate great buzz in order to make a sequel that everybody wanted, anyways. Kevin,
I just want to ask the question. So, how long ago has it been since an Alan Wake game has come out?
Grandy looked it up. What was it? 2013?
No, it's 9 years. No, that's the last time I played it. It came out in 2012.
Okay.
So
that's not bad.
Next year is gonna be 10 years old.
That's
Now,
not bad.
When it comes to like porting and whatever the fuck, like I don't know, it gets weird. Like Vanquish is way older than fucking Bayonetta. So for it to come out for PC, that was really exciting. But Bayonetta got ported to PC not that fucking long ago, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it was a waste to give it as a bundle. They should have just made Vanquish, and it was harder to find. It's like finding a copy of Asura's Wrath. Like it was like that. And then I don't know, like I would rather I'm glad that they're doing the remake because then it gives more games opportunities to get remake. Like I could finally get hopefully like remastered, remake, whatever.
I would love if it was called Alan Wake Remake.
Yeah,
like
just the rhyme, right? Yeah, I would want my Legends of Dragoon.
Just imagine this: it sells so well, and then a journalist, Danny, has her headline as Alan Wake Remake takes the cake.
Like really? That's corny as
bro.
fuck.
Like bars. Like what?
I should contact you every time I need a little
really
title thing.
Headline?
Yeah, a little headline.
Dude, hell yeah. I'll charge you like what? Like
oh man. Speaking of which, like I just finished my review today of a game, so you guys can check that out tomorrow when the embargo's done on thecoalition.com.
What the fuck did you send me?
I'll post up the link on my website whenever the actual review is up.
Just let me interject real
yes.
quick. Okay, opinion. How many years before a remastered or remake should it be in there? Is 10 years what too soon?
Well,
no.
For what Danny said, I think it really depends on the game, honestly, and the reception it might have.
Because honestly, Alan Wake, I don't think it did as well as fucking Control did. Because like I've heard everyone like suck Control off like constantly.
Oh yeah,
but
I was
Alan
one of
Wake
them.
Is a good fucking
and
game.
I'm an Alan Wake fan, but I love Control.
You're still wiping your fucking your lips off.
Fucking love Control.
He's like, so Control, right? Let me just like
back to Control.
Yeah, but yeah, no, like it depends on like what the fuck the following in terms of it is. Like Deadly Premonition, good example. When did the first game come out? Like the base game itself, because it was 360, right?
360, yeah. If not the original Xbox.
No, it was definitely 360. Deadly Premonition came out in 2010.
2010, indeed.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah, 2010.
Wow. And then Origins, which is the Switch version, came out on. It'd be nice if they actually.
Less than 10 years.
Oof. It's 11 years old. Not today, but it's 11 years old.
But the remastered, or was it a remake? It came out it was less than 10 years, right?
Let me go ahead and look at this. So February 23rd, 2010.
And that's some crazy shit too. Like Deadly Premonition was a game everyone loved to hate. That was like the most god awful game.
That's why it's so good.
And people wanted it more.
Remember that's like well, I would say the voice acting was kind of terrible, but
terrible.
But I loved it. It's like House of the Dead 2 for me.
Because the thing is that
it's terrible, but you love the
corner.
voice
it's just
acting.
like Resident Evil.
It's so bad. It's so bad that it's good. It's like an addiction.
But that's still my point with that.
No, because also with
that's my point. What I was saying with the remastered thing is that they're getting too much of a crutch to do remaster it. People talk about the game and they go, "Oh, that'd be awesome to do a sequel." Well, instead of just do a remaster and make some money off of it. Instead of just getting a proper sequel of what we want. And I think it's a horrible crutch of what they're doing right now because it's just redoing old IP. Hollywood did it first. You're 100% Hollywood did it first and was big on it, but they
it is
kind of going away from that now. But I think video games always have been like that, where they're kind of a few steps up behind Hollywood. And this is going to be this has been a horrible thing for me, I think, this past few years, where in the past a remastered version of anything was special.
Right.
I think the special's gone away.
Hey Randy, was Twin Peaks awful though? Twin Peaks wasn't that awful.
Twin Peaks was bad. Twin Peaks was fucking cheesy. Okay, here's the thing.
I can't remember much of Twin Peaks.
Twin Peaks is a show, but the thing is that everything was super over the top. It was like almost a parody in of itself. So Deadly Premonition being a parody of a parody, it's stupidly meta in that sense, but at the same time that kind of adds to the charm, because even then the stories do like align a lot. That it was heavily inspired by, it definitely fucking was. They did take their liberties and change a couple things.
Yeah.
But the bad voice acting, the really shitty like gameplay, and just the talent itself, it that's what the show felt like. Like watching it now, even back then, fucking it still just had that kind of like
cringe.
It was super camp. Yeah, you watch it and you're like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
Because no, as Kevin compared it to that fucking really shitty Capcom writing.
Oh my god, that was fucking
so just
terrible.
imagine Capcom the show.
What that
I had
right
to sneeze
there?
really bad.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Pretty much. It's like, what? Our stream isn't working?
Oh my god.
Kevin, what's the issue?
All right, so
what do you want?
I'm gonna finish this with the final thought here. So with Danny's comment, what he mentioned on, I think in general, yes, it's getting too out of hand with the remasters. I think it would be up to everybody to kind of just like to talk with their wallets, like either buy the game or you don't, and show the interest. I think it's easy, at least for most, especially us as veteran gamers here. It's easy to identify when something is either a cash grab or it's something that's trying to make an attempt to revive an actual franchise. And I think Alan Wake is one of those exceptions where they're trying to revive the franchise. Attempt, yes, not a guarantee, but it is an attempt to revitalize that franchise, and we'll see how that goes. I, for one, would fully support like an Alan Wake 2, which is why I would give them my money for the remaster in order for them to move on to this. Whereas like I'm not gonna buy another fucking copy of Ghost of Tsushima or Death Stranding because I just played that game 2 years ago. Fuck that.
Fuck that.
Oh, that's really fucking stupid.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like if it's like a couple years, as in literally 2 years, it feels way too soon.
Yeah.
Or not,
All right.
not even a whole fucking year.
Let's finish. Let's finish this up.
Ghost of Tsushima and the whatever is it's a different situation because they're trying to make.
Okay, no. We're not going to defend those two games now. Those are just examples. Just use your opinion. Use your own judgment. Buy the game that you love to play, and you hope that the franchise continues. And that's pretty much it with that.
I'm supporting Alan Wake more than Control. So
yeah, fuck you. So the next two games that we're going to talk about is right up Danny's alley. It is the stuff that we talked about, that there are new IPs, because we just mentioned the fact that a lot of publishers nowadays, they don't like to take risks. They don't like to make new IPs. The same thing with Hollywood. Sometimes they just like to just rehash the same shit over and over and over again. So one of them, we got the first IP is Project Eve. Danny, you know which one I'm talking about, right?
Yeah,
the one with the green ass.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
That's the only thing Randy noticed.
That's what they showed you in the fucking beginning. That was a shiny green hiney. Like,
so Randy, do you want to explain what this trailer was?
So it was what was it called? Project Eve. It looked like a really, first off, the protagonist looks nothing like what the game itself is, because that amount of body horror is fucking terrifying.
It is.
Like, I was so disturbed by the creatures that it made me want to play it. Because how do you put this like anime girl into this horrifying fucking world?
Tentacle world.
Tentacle world.
Tentacle
world.
It's tentacle porn.
I kind of got the Parasite Eve vibe, to be honest.
Yeah,
and I'm pretty sure that's why they're calling it Project Eve, to like kind of delve into that, if anything, like a more future rendition of it.
That'd be
so because it looks so fucking yucky, I really did enjoy it. But also, it reminded me of Vanquish, which you mentioned.
Yes.
Especially with the fucking tunnel scene. That looked so cool. Metal Gear Rising Revengeance, and also the Onichibara zombie bikini squad shit.
Oh my, that's
what
my
I mean?
I like how you're
yeah.
explaining the
So
things you
Kevin
like, but you
knows.
still haven't finished explaining the actual trailer.
Oh, I'm super sold on it.
Okay.
It's really weird, but I'm like really sold on it. It looks like what Metroid Other M was supposed to be.
Yeah.
What Team Ninja couldn't do with Samus.
Yeah.
We got
I think the action with Team Ninja's Metroid wasn't the bad part about it. I think it was the story and their interpretation of Samus.
But because that
My
didn't
opinion.
that I understand that, but also because the writing wasn't up to par with what Samus is.
Definitely
Because
not.
the thing is that they totally stripped Samus of what her character was. They just made her a fucking lapdog.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, they
in literally taking this fucking badass female and making her just a pet, you ruined the entire franchise. Because what is Metroid without Samus?
Mm-hmm.
And what's Samus without being a
Yeah,
badass?
they
With
gotta
this one,
redeem themselves.
with this one, I don't think it's Team Ninja. I hope not.
I don't know.
No, it's Upshift or some shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
Shift Star or whatever the fuck the name was. Not only do you have your fucking shiny green waifu, which also, if you notice, I don't know if anyone caught it, but she was dressed in like office attire at some point.
Yeah.
With the skirt and the blouse.
Mm-hmm.
That was a little too fan servicey. But you got
It's
a
a
badass
Japanese
waifu,
game.
so,
What do you
like,
expect?
Tales of Arise has a swimsuit DLC for $5. Just a heads up.
Lots of people paying.
I haven't bought the game yet, but I saw the add-ons.
But he
and I
has
was
the
like, no
bikini,
way.
though.
Where did this come from?
Are
Randy
you the
really
one, Randy? Are you
he
the
really-
one that buys the bikini DLC for Dead or Alive?
Yeah, of course.
Well, I don't play Dead or Alive,
Oh.
but
You're talking about
also Kevin,
Yeah, what's up?
Senran Kaguya.
Senran Kaguya, yes.
You want to talk about that?
Yeah, what about it? It's one of my favorite games.
What is that?
Combat.
All right,
It-
just look it up. Just look it up. Look it
Yeah.
up in all the anime titties you will ever see.
Oh, so that's like saying you go to Hooters for the wings, but you don't.
Yeah, I really go to Hooters.
Yeah, that's exactly what the thing
I
is.
hate the wings.
I love the wings.
Those are gross. I don't.
But you're not there for the wings, Danny.
There you
That's
go.
why I continue to eat the wings.
You go, it's good. It's good. Yeah.
This is shit.
Oh, I go. These wings aren't
Oh, my
good. Why? These wings aren't good still.
I love this cardboard.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Kevin, what are your thoughts on Project Eve?
But also, I would totally go into it. Just like I would buy the game for sure.
Oh yeah,
It looks like a platinum game, and platinum games are super fast paced. So
Yeah.
it's Bayonetta, Revengeance, and Vanquish all in one.
Yeah.
Because all three of them are platinum games.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you're gonna have to come back to me because when we were watching the trailer for this, I didn't see it. I literally saw when she went in the tunnel, and then I got distracted talking, and now I'm just watching the scene.
You watched the showcase with me.
No, I didn't watch.
He was watching with the wrong head.
Yeah,
exactly.
he was.
Like I wasn't even paying attention. No, but I like it. This is the game I was talking about that I didn't watch all of it. I've seen a bit of it, but I watched most of the trailer now, and I'm like, God, this looks amazing. It gives me Vanquish vibes. It gives me Bayonetta vibes with the dodging. The body horror is a bit.
That's terrifying.
That shit is creepy. But I'm like, yo, give me that.
It's some Junji Ito shit. Like,
yeah, I'm like, give me that. I was like, give me the slime, give me the spider, give me all that shit. Nah, but this game looks creepy as fuck. I'm gonna play it just because, again, I love combos. I appreciate combos so much. They make my day. But this game, it looks really fucking good. And when Randy said the green ass, I didn't know what he was talking about
until the beginning.
Until the beginning, and then I was like, that's cool.
The reflective shit on that.
So Kevin, what's your favorite combo?
And
combos.
You gotta be specific.
In these.
Not in these. Cute nuts, right? Like round of applause for the end.
No, but what is it?
Nah, but
I don't translate. Go, Kevin.
But the fucking tunnel scene is wild as shit.
And that's the Vanquish part. I immediately saw that.
Oh my! And she's blocking. Oh my god! I'm in love. I'm already in love. I love these over fucking dramatic ass game. This game is over dramatic as shit.
It's hyper action games.
Like it's giving me
a spectacle fighter.
It's giving me an adrenaline shot every time I see something cool happen, and I'm like, my fucking god, don't stop, just keep going. I'm about to have a heart attack, but I'm getting the game. I love it.
Shit.
Danny, I do want to know what Letty has to say because she's a degenerate, so I'm pretty sure she noticed the ass too. So like,
hold on.
Of course.
Let me hear Danny first, real quick.
What everybody said, like I thought the Bayonetta, Devil May Cry, whatever you call it, the old school Devil May Cry, Bayonetta definitely. And at first, when I first saw it, I thought, okay, this is interesting. This is not one of these games that looks fun. I love the monsters. I think that's giving it a unique twist. Okay, I'll play it because of that. But what sold me 100% is at the very end, the last scene that they show is her put on almost like a mech suit of armor.
The armored
That's
waifu? Yes.
that's what sold me because that means that's gonna take the game to a whole new level, whole interesting
Yeah.
level,
Yeah.
and make it really intense. And that's
Yeah.
what that one scene alone, that's what sold me.
To piggyback off of that, what I did love in particular was the fact that it's like most kind of anime games, they like, okay, you have your fucking anime waifu, whatever, and they stay pretty, if anything, right? The moment that fucking like suit went on
Yeah,
and her helmet was on, it was just like, no, you're facing death. Like you're not facing your
yeah.
fucking like
Uh,
average like
and,
fucking schoolgirl, whatever the hell. No, she's gonna fuck you up. She has her
and
SMS and she's gonna wreck
they
you.
saved it at the end. They saved it for the last scene because that's the last scene you showed. They put the armor like done,
Mm-hmm.
mic drop type of thing, and they did
Mic
that on
drop.
purpose. They did it on purpose instead of showing off what the suit's gonna do, what the armor just showing up. They shut off the gameplay. They go, yeah, you've seen this before. You've seen these types of games. It's gonna be interesting, but wait, we can also do this.
Yeah, because
know?
it's like you have Code Vein, you have Scarlet Nexus, you have your fucking anime titty girls, but now you have Project Eve, which
The
is
anime
like,
titty
yeah,
girl.
sure, no, there's anime titty girls, but they're also in badass fucking armor, and they're also surrounded by fucking creepy ass shit that you're not in fucking Kansas anymore, dude.
Mhm.
It's the perfect combo.
Yes,
There you go.
I don't know.
You know what would have made it better if she was blonde? That would have sold Randy on the point. On point. If she was blonde. No
You got you
defense,
there.
huh?
You got you
there.
there. Take the shot. Just
So-
because.
Wait, so Letty, what were you saying about it?
Oh, I think this was probably my favorite trailer from the showcase.
Okay.
Is this the one that you said remind you of an anime?
No, that was Ghostwire. That one
Ghostwire?
reminded
Yeah,
me
Oh,
of
oh my
Ghostwire.
god.
So that's not even on my list. Y'all want to talk about that one?
Oh yeah, give me that
that one
fucking
was
game.
dope. Real
I'll
quick.
just, like,
that's
Hot
the, that's
oh,
the
wait,
one.
hold on. Have Letty finish her thing and then we'll
Yeah,
go.
let me
Yeah.
finish it.
Go ahead.
Hot waifu, super scary monsters. I am curious about like how everything started because she's supposed to be like the protector of the world. Like she's talking to her mother, or whatever it was. So I'm curious how did it get like that, and I'm curious if they're gonna show that in the game. But
Oh,
I
I'm sure.
definitely did. I hope so.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't see too many Korean games, so I'm kind of excited about this one.
Is it Korean?
Is it Korean? I
it's
thought it was
in Korean.
Japanese.
No,
Oh,
there's
okay.
Korean.
That's new to me.
So we're just racist.
Yes.
Right?
All the same shit.
It's a wee bit.
Yeah.
Yo,
But
Chinese games are like making a comeback, man. Those Chinese games like Wukong and that other game that we
Fucking
talked
Black Myth.
about. Yeah. Like, oh man, those look good. But I'm sorry, Letty, you finishing your thought?
No, I was just saying the platforming looked good. Besides the fighting, she was like walking on air at a point and like swinging on poles and stuff. Oh, I really enjoyed the whole trailer.
And there's the Bayonetta.
Indeed. But yeah, I this is probably my favorite one from the whole showcase.
Okay. Cool. And who has their first thought on Ghostwire?
That's
I
the one
remember
with-
it
is that
looking
the one with the magic
scarier than
spells?
before. The first person shit like with all like the demons and whatnot.
Fucking Slender Man with an umbrella. Can we talk about that? Man,
Yeah, no, but the thing is that it's like I remember seeing something about it and it looked a lot more terrifying than I remember it being because now it just looks kind of like just actiony House of the Dead type shit.
But they never showed any
through-
gameplay footage before that, haven't
No,
they?
no,
It was
not
all
gameplay
like
footage, no. But-
CGI stuff.
Okay, so let me go ahead and ask you guys because I was thinking about it and I couldn't remember what the fuck it was. But there was something of a little girl like with her face like either half torn off or just like kind of mutilated. But regardless, it was like a first-person game that looked really fucking scary, and they showed it off before they like released the PS5.
It was a girl. It was a girl.
You
with
know
no
what I'm
head.
talking about, right?
The girl had
the
no
girl
head.
with
So with that, it's like I'm pretty sure that was Ghostwire because it did have the same fucking feel of So
was.
it looked a lot more terrifying, but now it just looks more like action with
Well,
scary
I mean,
monsters.
remember like
always
when
got
when
action
they
with
when they
scary
release
monsters, what I always
CGI
got.
when they release CGI stuff, like a lot of things will change in the production before like actual gameplay shows up.
No,
so
yeah,
they
of
probably
course,
just
and
drastically
understand
changed
that,
it.
but the thing is that what it was before looked like a very first person horror. Like you have your powers, but you can't always be safe. Now it's just you're fucking
It's an
Master
action
Blaster running
horror.
through everything.
That's
Yeah,
true.
Yeah.
and that's kind of boring to me because it's like
Mm.
I do like those horror games where you feel defenseless. That's why like Silent Hill is such a good franchise. That's also why Outlast, like all you could do is run. Like if you could defend yourself, but limit what you could do. And especially when it comes to like this paranormal shit, don't be just this guy that's like thrown into the fucking fray and immediately you're like, oh, you know what, I don't know what's going on, but I could fuck every ghost up.
Takes away
That's
from the scariness.
yeah, because at that point you're not afraid. Pardon me. As a normal fucking person, being thrown into something like that, I'd be scared shitless. I wouldn't try to find out my powers. I would try to change my underwear before I figured anything out.
What? You don't want to
You know what
fight
I mean?
ghosts with your demon powers?
Sir, no, to fight some bitch with long arms and just like a giant mouth for a head,
Uh-huh.
I would piss myself.
Can I tell you
I
what?
would turn tail and fucking run that way.
You know what's
You know what I
funny?
mean?
The only one that didn't scare me, and even if I saw it in real life, it still make me laugh, is the ghost that had no head and it just drop kicked him. I was like,
Oh,
first
the
of all,
school uniform?
I was like, what are the odds of a ghost with no head drop kicking the shit out of you? And you're just like, I gotta eat it.
That's the
Only
Mob
in
Psycho ghost
Tokyo.
right there.
Only in Tokyo. But I do understand what how Randy feels, because when I saw the first trailer, I was like, man, this looks scary as shit. I'm scared shitless. And then this one is like, oh, drop kicking ghost, Slender Man with the umbrella, the little girl with the rain suit.
It just seems too goofy now.
It looks way too actiony. I like that they're showing it, but I hope it's not like you get your powers and then you're an automatic badass. Like what's a fucking game that just gives you bullshit in the beginning? Any fucking I would say, what was it?
Control.
Control. No,
Control does
I've
not
never
give
played the
you
game.
everything at once.
I've never played the game, but like any game that it just like rips like gives you an ultimate weapon in the beginning, and then it's like they kind of nerf it a little bit so it does little less damage, but you just like power it up
then it
3 times.
progresses, yeah.
Yeah, and it just gets stupid strong. Like just give it like you can use certain powers on certain enemies. You can only use your powers like in a certain time of day or night or whatever the fuck it is, and then it benefits you in one way or another. But I like how the game looks, even with how actiony it got now. The drop kicking ghost made it. He saved me. He saved that trailer for me. And I love it. I love it to death. Can't wait for the game to come out. I'm actually gonna play that one.
Because it does look like a fun game, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But the thing is that it's because it was sold more as horror before, or at least like that's what was shown.
Yeah.
That's what I was used to. So then to find out that that's not what it is, it's a little bit disappointing. Because what is it? Fucking The Medium. It looked a lot scarier than it really is, and
What game?
it kind of makes it fun. Pretty much you play as this guy or a girl, and like you have to go through like a bunch of things. And
No. I heard what you said. I just didn't hear the title of the game. It kind of cut off for me.
Oh, The Medium.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I see that.
It looked a lot scarier than what it actually was, because when you actually like see it or play it, it's not.
It's the walking sim.
Yeah, it's super linear, and it's too linear for what it's supposed to be. Like
I was watching
know.
that game and I was like, man, this shit is stupid.
Yeah, because if it was presented immediately as like kind of first person action shooter, again, like a rail shooter, a fucking House of the Dead type shit, Time Crisis with ghosts,
Let me get that.
then yeah, then I'd be like, you know what, cool, that looks like fun. It looks camp as shit, and I'll get it for the novelty. But now
I didn't expect this reaction
for
from you
ghosts.
guys.
No, again, like it looks scarier before than it does now.
Yeah, no, I get it.
I'm super disappointed in that, because games nowadays, like anything that's horror, isn't necessarily horror. It doesn't go out of its way to try to like make you piss your pants or like shut the game itself. Like if I'm gonna
Like
play a horror
Resident Evil
game,
7
I want it
or 8.
Yeah. I want to press Alt F4. Like I want to actually cancel this shit because I'm terrified. Like the first Amnesia was really good.
Oh God,
Then,
yes.
yeah, it was amazing, so fucking good. And
I would even now I get scared with the footsteps in the water, like that creature following you.
Jump on the crates.
Yeah. Oh.
So obviously that was good horror. So Frictional, they knew what they were doing when it came to Penumbra and Amnesia. But then when they became sellouts and all their fame kind of came off of the first one, Dark Descent, Machine for Pigs was fucking garbage. And then the third Amnesia game that came out, forgot the subtitle for it, but that one was like nothing like either one or two. So everything just becomes action horror at this point. Like the novelty of being scared with actual scary video games, it's gone.
See,
maybe you're just
when I
desensitized.
when I first saw the first trailer on a year ago now, I think it is, before the PS5 came out, they showed this. You know, this was part of the PS5 lineup, and they talked about, and this was one of the games they showed. I never got anything of horror. I got exactly what this was. I got it. It was an action game with horror elements. It was a fast-paced, creepy fucking shit going on, and you were this badass spellcaster who fucking basically you're Constantine. You know, you're exercising these people in a more of a spellcaster type way. But I got all action from this. I didn't get scary at all. I got creepy world, yes. Weird Constantine type underground type world of only they can type see it shit, but it was still all action. And I never thought anything but action was gonna be. So for me it is what it is still. And I'm interested because I do like
those type of games.
I like those type of games. They're fast paced, kind of almost mindless. You know, you don't have to think too much when you want to play this. Just kind of have fun and just use crazy spells and blow shit up type of thing. That's gonna be fun, and with a very unique looking story. It's just not your average, you know, crazy beat 'em up game. It has creepy vibes, ghost, whatever it is. It's gonna have a background and it's gonna have a really cool world. I don't think there'll be much story at all. I think it's gonna be mostly, you know, Duke Nukem style, you just running and gunning. But that's what I got when I first saw it, and that's what I still got now.
Okay. All right. We're running out of time, so we're gonna go through our last game real quick.
Skip Letitia.
Which is Forspoken. So Forspoken is the last game we're gonna talk about, and we got some teasers with it a long time ago, which was a little bit of CGI and then a little bit of some gameplay, and finally we got some like pretty much all gameplay with this trailer, which looks really really good. It looks like Final Fantasy ish, with a lot of like spell powers and lots of fast-paced action, with a female who is from like our world who ends up in this fantasy world. So that's kind of like what the story is going to be like.
She's either in New York or Jersey. I'll tell you that because the portal says Holland Tunnel when she.
Oh, really?
Transferred. Yeah,
I didn't notice that. Okay. All right. So yeah, we got ourselves a New Yorker or a Jersey girl. Yeah. So this looks really good. Danny was super excited for this before like it even had a name, but it had a like a project name first. So Danny, what are your thoughts real quick?
I loved it. I mean, I thought it was exactly what I wanted to be. I'm still hesitant on the world. I'm hoping it doesn't. The world looks huge. Like you're gonna be able to do a lot of like Spider-Man type zipping around and traversing through the areas. I'm just hoping that the areas actually have life and some type of town or something that you can interact with and do stuff with. Right now, everything that's showing, because the game's still in development, just looks bare. You know, it looks very empty, like you're going through trees and mountains and all this crazy shit, and it's just you're the only thing there. The only time they showed monsters and stuff like that when it was in like the dungeon, like it's obviously set area where you're supposed to fight things. So that's still disappointing, but the spells look phenomenal.
Yeah, that open world map stuff kind of had me feel a little bit like Shadow of the Colossus, where there's like a vast like just nothingness, and then you eventually run into something.
Yeah, you run into your monster or whatever it is you're supposed to fight, and then you go off and doing that level. But again, the spells just look phenomenal. Like when at the very end, when she does that geyser and then freezes it, I was like, oh my god, this is gonna be phenomenal for all the stuff you can
do. Is that what happened in your pants?
Yeah, I
he literally said that too.
Oh shit!
He said that after they released that trailer. He was like, "Yo, I just jizzed my pants."
So I'm super excited for it. I mean, and I Square Enix. I'm a big Square Enix fan. You know, a huge Square Enix fan. So they can do no wrong to me. But So I'm super excited what they're gonna do. It's gonna be a fun story, and that's what I'm interested in. Is they're gonna concentrate more on a story versus just like a crazy action thing, which I'm also super excited about because a lot of the games that are coming out now, I feel like all action and no substance. So this is like that's my game of the year type of thing I want to play.
Okay. And Letty, since you didn't get to give your 2 cents last time.
I thought about this game a lot. I don't know why it just doesn't appeal to me. I don't know what it is. I can't figure it out. This is not a game I would even like look at, to be honest.
Why? You don't know?
I don't know.
It's not Crash. If it was Crash Bandicoot doing all this magic stuff and jumping around.
I don't know what it is.
Yeah, Crash Bandicoot Forspoken. She'd be like, yes.
Crash Spoken?
That's a deal.
Yes, Crash Spoken.
Right?
Twin Sanity too.
What were you saying, Letty?
I don't know. I don't know what it is because I mean, it looks visually, it looks good. The fighting does seem like, I guess it could be fun. I don't know what it is. It's not a game I would pick up for some reason.
Okay. It's strange that you say that, like, because you've played all these other action-y type games before, and this one doesn't appeal to you that much.
I'll think about it more. I'll come back next week. I know why I don't like it.
Kevin, what about you?
Is she from New York? I'm just curious.
I don't know if it's New York or Jersey.
I hope
that's his
she's
waifu.
From New York. No, I hope she's from New York, so I can just be like, every time I'm running through enemies, I'm walking in. just start shooting them.
Initiate every single fucking combat with
pull up on this nigga. He lacking. My fault for the
with the pins on. That's it.
They ask you a question.
Yo, let me ask you a question. Yo, let me
ask you.
Can I get some water? Can I get a little bit of water?
Give me some water here.
Give me some water, because I'm walking here. I need some water here. Nah, but
you're a New Yorker when you get a girl from Virginia and looks right at you and goes, "Your accent is so thick, I can't understand a word you're saying." That has happened to me. Multiple times.
I like how the game looks. It gave me I'm starting to enjoy more games with free running. Spider-Man, like the new Spider-Man, really got me open into like watching a lot of games, mainly playing games like that, like Mirror's Edge and stuff like that. I like how it looks. I said this in the showcase: if that map is too fucking big, I'm gonna lose interest very fast. Like if it's like unrealistically like big, like Breath of the Wild, or like not even like
Red Dead Redemption, like emptiness everywhere.
Emptiness, or like too much to do. I'll lose interest in it regardless, because my little attention span can only focus on, I'm gonna do this, set this goal for this week, and if I don't hit it, I'm gonna forget about the game. But
I want it to be like Spider-Man. Like you can roam around a huge city, or you can stop and fucking fight little guys.
Yeah, you could do the story,
do little side missions, do little stuff, you know.
Yeah, like I love the free running. They already had me there. Like I was like, the game looks amazing. I'll definitely play it. I'll definitely try it out. But if it's like too much to do, and then it's like it doesn't matter. Like it's too much like events and stuff like that occurring at the same time.
I'm gonna dip, not enough chip.
Yeah, too much dip, not enough chip. I'm gonna lose interest because it's overwhelming for me to like invest in a game that I have to literally spend hours like completing one thing, and I'm like, I don't want to do that. Because Spider-Man, I just felt like I can get from point A to point B. Oh, I can fight it. I can stop a crime, and then I could just continue the story afterwards, or I can go and get a book bag or something like that. It always felt like you were busy, but it didn't feel overwhelming. Like I would feel like they would have to have that balance of, you can do the story, you can do mini events, and then you can like continue the story or something like that. But if they don't, then it's just going to be like a big amount of nothing happening and your character just running around doing cool shit.
So I gotta cut it off here because we're gonna be running way late. So I know I didn't hear from some people, but we really gotta wrap this up. So Forspoken was the last one we talked about, and the last thing we're gonna do right now is touch on. Danny is actually the one working on the guess the game screenshots today. So he's gonna be doing a screen share. He's gonna be setting up probably. And
I'm gonna plug in my laptop, otherwise I'll die.
Yeah. So And we get
Yeah,
to,
we
we,
throw
we get a we get a tour of his apartment as well for anyone watching live.
I just saw
I mean his apartment, his house.
I saw steps and he said apartment. I was like, wait,
Yeah, I know.
somebody else live
He lives in a duplex.
Duplex.
Yeah, no.
Sorry, Danny, but your head is like really shiny, and I just want to like, just
I like your
You
cut.
gotta
Have
rub
you
it. You gotta rub
shaved?
it for good luck.
no,
Have a
not
shave in a
just
little
like
bit.
one good fucking smack, and that's it.
Pretty much.
But I feel like if I do that, you'd hear like a bell ding. Like,
Oh, I gotta share my thing, right?
Yeah, so hit the share. Here's the share screen stuff, so we can set that up. So he's the one who set up the guess the game, so I could play along. And let's see what my knowledge is like.
He gonna hit us with some games I'm not even gonna know. I'm not even gonna guess.
Watch it all
I
be
know-
like ColecoVision or Atari or some
Oh
shit.
god, you gotta get the
I know
graphics.
there's a few- I know I went pretty easy actually. There's a
Uh-huh.
few that are obviously hard towards the end, but I actually went pretty easy. I forget the stuff. The first like 2 is to get Letitia into this. If she don't know these, she don't get to come back.
Alright, so
Right?
so we
Alright.
gotta get
One of them
gotta-
has to be
she gets
Crash.
voted off the island.
we gotta get
Yeah.
we gotta wait 20 seconds before we can all answer. That's the amount. That's just the
Give
if
Letty the first
one
guess.
for her, we'll have to sit there in silence. Just to,
Everybody
like,
say
see what
this
it
is.
is.
Everybody say got it, like like we did last time.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know
yeah.
what?
Yeah,
So
we'll do it that way.
Sharon, let me know when you're
Fuck,
ready.
hold on. Can you give
I'm
me like
nervous now.
30 seconds
I'm
real quick?
just
Because I do have
joking.
to
I'm
pee
Let
again.
me
just
last stream,
joking.
guys.
Yeah.
It's
I'm really
fine.
just joking.
Yeah,
Wait. No,
yeah,
am I safe to go take a leak?
I also have to use the bathroom.
Wait,
I didn't. I was trying to.
so we're
hold
gonna
it.
take a break now? Okay.
All right,
Yeah,
no, just quick potty break. You know.
Yeah,
you
go
gotta
ahead,
pee,
go
just
ahead, go
for
ahead,
it.
go quick.
I'll be right back.
And Kevin left the entire thing. Jesus Christ.
Oh,
No.
jeez. Danny,
See,
you
and
could
it's
you could
way
open
up.
up your PowerPoint now. Okay.
It's open already.
I don't see it. Do you have it open?
On the bottom. I just gotta click on it.
Oh, okay. So you don't have it on your screen, like you don't see
No,
it.
'cause
Okay.
the fir-
I
it's
just
gonna be
wanted
the
to make
first
sure
page.
I'm not that I can
I
see
said
it
it in the
properly.
title.
Trying to
but-
cheat? You trying to see it first?
Yeah, no, Danny wanted to send it to me
Uh-huh.
first, and I was just like, no, because then I have either the Ursus cheat or I'll
Well,
accidentally
he'll
like
probably
fuck it up.
cheat. Let's look it all up, but
Yeah. So I figured, let's just do the screen share thing, and he could just wing it.
yeah, I just created a PowerPoint real quick. Just through PowerPoint all day at work, so
Wait, what the fuck is this? No. Screen.
But I tried to
screen
go
share?
from, like,
Okay, here it is.
I tried to go from for what I thought was easiest to hardest. The last one, I don't think anyone's gonna get. I really don't. I just
Huh.
did it because
Okay.
Not at all. My brain
Yeah.
cells don't work like that.
I don't think I'm pretty sure nobody's gonna get that. I already got it because of a documentary I saw. So
That's a little biased.
That's a bit fucked up, but it's all right. Hold on, can I? Where'd be a good spot to? No.
say no.
Ah.
I want to change the color.
All right, ready? So we're gonna go to the first
Everybody's here.
Yeah.
All right.
one. You sharing my screen? I don't know.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah,
here's the
It's
first
on
one.
there. Oh.
Got it.
Oh. Yes, I got it.
I don't know that name.
Got that.
At least I
don't.
think I got the name right.
Leticia, what do you think it is?
I've seen it, but I don't know the name. It's like right there.
Is it?
Yeah, Danny,
It
because
is.
you sounded unsure too.
Oh no, I think I remember the name. Pretty sure.
So what is it?
So
Danny
we'll
got-
have Danny say it first.
Was
and
it-
then Kevin
was
and I
it-
definitely got it.
Was it like Ty the Tiger or some shit like that?
I was close. That was really
Close,
You're
right?
missing one word. Missing one
Yeah.
word.
Ty.
Kevin, you want to say it?
These are the easy ones, man. These
Kevin?
are the easy ones.
Go ahead, Randy. You can say it.
The Ty the Tasmanian tiger.
yeah.
Okay, same shit.
You were missing
It's
one.
nice.
A Tasmanian tiger is different.
Okay.
About the
Fair
same
enough.
with the
Fair enough.
devil.
All right.
All right, the next one.
Got
I
it.
love that you have him.
Yeah.
Oh, come on.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure this one is first.
Letty.
I thought I did this one first.
All right, Letty needs to go
Conquer's
first
Bad
for
Fur
this.
Day.
Conquer's
Conquer's
Bad
Bad
Fur
Fur
Day.
Day.
Yeah, she got it.
Yeah.
She
My
got it.
favorite scene
So
in this
great.
entire game. I had
Mighty
to
Pooh, and
I
I'm going
I
to
made
throw
purposely
my
make sure I had
scat
the on the
at
bottom.
you.
Thank you.
when they had the bottom acorn start saying the words, I was
Oh.
like, "What is this?"
Chat.
So yeah, Huertas, that is a giant shit monster. No joke. With
No,
corn,
he's not a
with
giant
corn,
shit monster.
with corn for tea.
Corn
He
for
is the great and mighty Pooh.
He's the great
And-
mighty Pooh.
in order to get up to him, you had to fight. You had to get past dung beetles that are rolling shit up the mountain.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
this
that's
was an
such a
awesome
crazy game.
Anybody who's not played this game, please play
Do
this.
you remember the
Destroy
sunflower?
it, beat it.
With the
Yeah.
big boobs, yeah.
Yeah, with the boo.
Kitty sunflower. Yep.
or
Wait,
the cow that you had to get a prune juice so I can shit.
Oh, God.
Where can I find this game at?
You've
'Cause
never played Conquer?
You never played Conker's Bad Fur Day?
I've never played Conker's Bad Fur Day. I played the military.
Reloaded.
Yeah, Reloaded. I've never played.
Conker's Bad Fur Day.
Yeah.
It was N64, and
Yep.
we played this. I think we rented it, and we were like, "What is this? Is the best game ever!" And they did a proper remaster. That's why this looks all pretty here.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
And no, it needs a solid remake.
Yeah.
It really
does need
does.
a
It needs
it
a
does need a solid
sequel.
But I don't. But again,
To
I
be
don't
fair
think they
though,
get away with, like you said with Borderlands. I don't think they can get away with the shit they did in this.
no.
Yeah.
It was super.
It's not going to be received well
It
at
looks
all.
like it should be a kids game, and then it's like, nope, this is
Because it was by Rare.
Yeah.
And
Well,
Rare was Banjo-Kazooie, so it's like once you
Yes.
get used to kind of like that, even fucking what was it, Donkey Kong?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So once you get used to like their kind of 3D cartoony platforming, that's what you're used to, and then you got this
This
fucking
game,
squirrel
I swear to God, man, I
with
thought it was
fucking
one of those
a
games again.
sunflower
I'm
with
like, oh,
tits. Yeah,
another
because
one.
it's the same visuals, just
Yeah.
a whole different fucking
Everything. Yeah. Yeah.
demographic that it's going to.
So yeah, Kevin, put it on your list. All right. The next
Oh
one.
yeah, I'm definitely gonna.
Hey, what the fuck?
oh my
Yo, what the-
God.
shit.
Oh,
Wow.
I
yeah.
know that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody were
I-
quiet. These are the easy ones. Come on, the first three were easy.
Oh yeah.
Jolly Jingles. There you go.
Jolly Jingles, the
Jingles.
sequel.
I even did like a
Jolly
infamous scene
Jingles
from the
too.
beginning of the game because it was. I think I only got past really the beginning because the game wasn't that great. But I liked it. It was
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah.
Yep. I feel you on that one.
And the title is exactly what you think it is. So even if you want to guess it, you could. Anybody?
Played it, but don't remember. This is Batman Returns.
Exactly. That's the name of the game.
Yeah.
Batman
You
Returns.
know,
It was based off the movie. It was
Yeah.
based off the movie. This is the beginning scene when the penguins goons fight some.
Yeah, the clowns. Yeah.
I remember playing this game. The only thing I really liked about this game, it had a great effect that you can smash them into the wall
yeah.
behind you. It had a great sound effect,
Mhm.
and that's the only thing I really liked.
Mhm.
All right, here's the next one. This is for you, Kevin.
Oh.
This is for you, Kevin.
Ooh, got it.
I purposely put this. I love this.
I know.
game.
I know you do.
Yeah.
I felt that one once I saw the. I didn't even look at the whole picture. I
This
just saw the
is
jam. I was
this
like,
is
I
what
really
that
don't even
this is what I felt like that game Air Geese ripped off of,
Yes. Yeah.
Mhm.
or Air Geist, whatever you want to call it. Do you guys got it, Letty, Randy?
That was over my head.
Randy, you got it
No, I'm lost on this one.
for real. Oh,
Oh,
that's
man.
good.
For me,
Yeah,
Kevin?
go, Kevin. Come on.
it's called Power Stone.
Power Stone, yes.
I
Yeah,
love
never would have guessed
this.
that.
This game is
Dreamcast.
so fucking wild. It's so
Dreamcast
fucking.
game. I knew you don't play Dreamcast. I had a feeling Kevin. I ran into play Dreamcast too much.
That game
Nah.
was wild as shit.
This was a great, and it was 4 players. This was a
Mhm.
4-player
What?
game.
Yeah.
this was a
Yeah.
4-player
Wow.
game. This is the bad picture. This looks like it's a side by side, but it actually they roam around. in
It's a
3D.
3D fighter. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
3D
I
fighter,
mean,
and
I figured as much because it's like it's too weird to be on a 2D plane.
yeah,
Yeah.
and it has crazy special this guy throws missiles out his back and all this crazy shit. Had crazy powers. It was a great fucking game. They did a Power Stone 2 that didn't even that it was almost the same game, so it didn't really do that well. But this is a game that needs a remake that people would love. Online, you could do the whole 9. It just would be fun. I
Get
love Power Stones.
give it rollback netcode because that
I
shit
think they
would
did
be.
They
would
did a whole
be-
anime series off of it too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah.
All right, so we're on to the next one.
On to the next one.
Danny, this is for you, Danny.
Yo, I was about to spit the wrong game
Oh
out.
my God, it's my favorite version.
I know that's why I like you did it. This is for you, Danny.
Go ahead,
Randy,
Danny.
you got it?
I'm gonna spit something out. I'm probably wrong about this one.
What about you, Kevin?
I was also gonna say something different. I saw it in
Alright.
that. Go ahead.
So let's both talk out of our ass right here.
Okay.
Charles and Hannah?
what? No.
Trials
No,
of Mana.
No, that's I can see that. I can see that.
It is a JRPG.
Yeah. Yeah.
Actually,
What?
one of
No.
my favorite.
What?
Shit.
I didn't even
It's
know.
definitely within my top like 3 or 4 RPG
The hell
games
is this?
of all
This is
time.
this is a very long franchise. I'll give you a
Yeah.
clue.
Final Fantasy?
No,
Yes.
they've never had this type of art style.
Yeah.
Second to last fantasy.
Second to last.
Beyond Fantasy?
It involves
Gotcha.
dragons.
Dragon
Mm.
Quest.
No.
Ha!
It actually really, they do go hand in hand because they use the slimes as enemies.
So,
So
oh wait, is it a Toriyama game?
I don't know.
I don't know.
So is it
actually,
Dragon Quest?
And it's not Dragon
It's
Quest.
not Dragon
No.
She just said Dragon Quest.
She
Yeah.
Did she?
Quest. I said it's
Yeah.
close because it does
Wow,
have
you
the
haven't paid attention.
Oh, I thought she said
Yeah,
no.
I know. Go, Danny. What is it?
This is Breath of Fire 4.
Nope, 3.
4 or it's 3? No, Breath of Fire 4 is my favorite.
I know.
Well, this is
You
Breath of
love
Fire,
four.
regardless.
You love
I
like
played the
3.
other Breath of Fires. I know it
You
was a
love
Breath of
4, I
Fire
love
game.
3. We played
Yeah.
this game. This is right before the scene that drove me nuts of with the security camera. That fucking it drove me insane.
Oh, I don't remember that.
There's a scene with security.
I
you have to
just
get into this
recognize the art
castle.
style.
You have to get into this castle, and it has these really bad security cameras, that like Metal Gear Solid stuff. But it was so glitchy because of the block animation and the frame rate, or where the frames are. And so you would constantly fucking get caught, and I'm like, what the fuck? I didn't get caught, and they have to restart over. It was the worst.
I feel like it's just him venting at this point.
Yeah.
No, but besides that part, this is my favorite game because the little blue guy, if you see in the middle, with the little, he's the main
Blue hat.
character, right? He
Yeah,
turns
with
into
the blue
a
hat.
dragon. But in the middle of the game, something happens where he basically gets knocked unconscious and he becomes an adult. So you play the game like 10 years later, basically. In the storyline,
cool.
so everybody has grown and has kind of lived their lives. And, oh my God, where were you? But it's like half the game and it kind of comes out of nowhere, and then you get a full adult version of you. And the dragon that he transforms to different dragons, same thing. It was a great game. I love this game.
What was it called again?
Breath of Fire 3.
3 of you spoke at the same time. I didn't hear a fucking thing. So please,
it is
Drunk Danny.
Tekken 7.
Arcade edition.
All right, fuck all of you. I'll get it later.
Breath of Fire 3.
Thank you.
Next game.
The fact that we're both on the same page. on that
Oh,
one, too.
jeez.
Whoa.
Kevin, you better know this.
How'd you get
Damn.
those 2 characters? To be fair,
I
those
played
2
this.
characters
I
together.
played this
The
on Neo.
screenshot.
I played this on Neo Geo.
Wasn't there an N64 version of this?
Yes.
This is
That was a
actually
3D
the
fighter.
PS4 version.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think I know the name of it, and it's only because I've seen
Is
weird.
this the
videos of people
64 version, Danny?
WR
Yeah,
that's got
this
it.
is the 64 version.
Yeah. So Huertas kind of got it.
He's missing a letter, but like, yeah.
What did he put? I can't see it.
He put
he's
K,
not right.
K
He
fighters.
put K fighter. but
Clay
it's
fighter.
He's definitely not
Clay
wrong.
fighters.
It's
Clay
Clay
fighters.
fighters. I seen this
Is this-
game and I was like, man, this game is dog
The
shit.
snowman and the girl who looks like Mixed Piggy was
Hell,
like infamous.
Yep.
Especially the snowman. They had a few other characters, but the snowman was the
Yeah,
biggest one.
their characters were disturbing.
And they were like more.
Have you guys
it was a creepy game.
Have you guys played? What was it? I think it's called Terrordrome or Terrordrome or
Terrordrome.
something like that.
Terrordrome.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Or it's basically just like a bunch of like horror movie icons, like Michael Myers,
Ghost-
Jason,
Ghost-
Freddy,
Ghostface.
Chucky.
Oh yes, I've seen footage.
That shit's
This is-
disturbing
Yeah,
because
yeah.
like their animation's like really fucking creepy.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Fucking
Listen,
Yeah.
I put
Fucking-
this up there. I put this up there because I had a feeling Kevin, the
Oh, yeah.
fighting guru. and it never-
yeah.
I never heard you talk about it, and I'm like, I don't think you've played this before.
Oh no, I've seen a lot of YouTubers play this game that are like fighting game
Yeah.
known, and when they play this game, they're like, this game is terrible.
But it was so at the time. It was so
It was unique.
cool.
Yeah.
Because it was
Yeah.
one of the they didn't have a lot of fighting games back then. They obviously had Mortal Kombat and things like that, but this was
Mm-hmm.
right around the time of Shaq Fu. To be honest,
Mm.
Shaq Fu straight busted.
I always pick Shaq Fu. I'm like everybody recognized how bad that game was, so never mind.
Yeah.
What's next?
Oh
we mentioned this.
We
Black and
did.
white. Oh,
Hey,
did.
hey,
no. So I think this is black and white. I don't.
Yeah,
I,
I'm pretty sure it
Wrong.
is black and white.
No.
Oh, it's white and
no.
black.
It's white and black.
white and black. Oh, because the tigers. Oh, and the people down. It makes
This
sense.
no, actually,
It's
this
Othello.
is Frosted Flakes.
Oh, because they're great. Oh, that's Tony the Tiger. Right?
Originals, I had a screenshot with just the cow, and I'm like, I don't know what the fuck this is. I'm looking at it, so I had to get a better one with the hand and the little people and stuff like that. But it was just the cow because you're like selecting a character, and the cow was so gross and creepy looking.
Yeah, it was.
Look it up.
It
Black and
was.
white. Look up the cow. It's really disturbing.
Black and
Like,
white. So you pretty much just
badass
play
fucking
God.
tiger. Yeah, you play God. The hand is actually what you control. I mean, it's kind of hard to see it, but there's a hand in the middle, and you can literally pick up the people and toss them if you want to, or walk up to this guy and like pat him or slap the shit out of him. You could grab the buildings if you want, but you're doing a lot of agriculture, so you would like make the farmland and stuff like that because you were God. You know, you give them rain to make the. It was a great game. It's
Back when Peter Molyneux actually made good games.
Yeah. I would
not to like attack him or anything, but
I would have preferred the cow because everybody would have been just as confused as you are.
Yeah, I know. I know.
Like I saw the cow and I was like,
here's
my
the
God,
thing.
that's fucking crazy.
I could put like at least $20 down on like Letty knowing what the fuck that cow was from.
Yeah, I feel it. I felt like that would have happened.
Like to like call back something, the whole thing of like a game getting a sequel or whatever the case. She threw down Mr. Mosquito. Like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah.
Dude, that'd be so much fun.
So Huertas, like, it's slightly like populous. It was like kind of strategic in the sense that you're town building and stuff like that, but you're controlling literally everything, including like the elements and like making sure that everyone stays alive and saving people and it was also like what was it, the Tamagotchis? Like you pretty much have a Tamagotchi. Is that you're taking care of your pet? Yeah.
So if ActRaiser, From Dust, and Tamagotchis had a kid,
it was a very unique game, and it took forever to fucking install too. I remember that.
Yeah, it was a huge game back then.
Well, I mean, also remember what like the internet was like.
Yeah,
that's true.
So
that's true.
I'm pretty sure you install it and now you're like, whoa, 10 seconds? The fuck? Like,
oh yeah,
is that this game of all things?
All right, what's the next game?
Wait, there's another game. Shit.
What the fuck is this?
First of all, how many games are we limited to if like we want to do
10.
this?
Oh, okay. I played this shit when I was younger.
Kevin, say it. I'm lost.
Wait. Let me guess. Letty, do you have any idea?
No.
Is this Danny?
I don't think so because I don't remember heads getting kicked off. This is not Karate Kid, is it?
No,
although it does look a lot like fucking Ralph Macchio. It does. To be quite honest,
it does.
If you could put Ralph Macchio into 8 bits, that's like a perfect rendition of him.
They made the Karate Kid game based off of this one. I think they damn near just ported it, but this is called Kung Fu.
Oh, Huertas got it right.
Huertas got it right.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
He knows. He's old. He knows it.
Yo, I remember me playing this game and this game being so fucking unfair. Like I was like,
man.
It's hard for
this those games is really hard, and then you die, you restart. It's like
Oh my fucking God, I hated it. I hated the game.
I love this game as a kid. I thought it was so cool, and trying to get trying to get the moves right and do all the kicks and do all the crazy shit. I liked it back in the day. It was one of my go-to games as it's the game I wish was on the emulator.
Yeah.
Is there one more? I lost.
How many more we got? We're only like on the 5th, aren't we?
Yeah, this is.
Oh God!
Easy.
Come on!
I know this one. I know.
This is the beginning of a good one.
I love. I'm not gonna lie. I love the opening scene for this fucking game. Like, and I played this. I like legit.
Hold on, Lefty, do you know this one? No.
I am lost.
Oh
my God! Hey.
Right. So we all got this.
Yeah. Can I say it?
Go ahead, Kevin.
Go ahead. Go ahead. You let me have the first one.
It's a Night Trap.
Yeah, it is Night Trap.
Yeah. This scene is another one. They're all in their fucking pajamas, and I'm like, what is this game? And I remember just the thieves breaking in, and then they have the things on the bottom. You can look at the other rooms and whatnot, and you can set certain traps to try to stop the thieves from kidnapping, raping you. I guess because that's actually.
It was very.
Wasn't it?
Implied.
Wasn't it like no? Weren't they like demon worshippers or something like that? Like
Towards the end, yeah,
Yeah.
that's what you end up finding out. But when you first play it, it's like they're trying to break into
Look,
your house.
But
Yeah.
when you're first playing it, you're a
And
kid,
you see
your
all these
hormones are
girls.
like
Yeah,
everywhere, and you're like, yo, they're all in their 90s? Fucking
yeah, they get in
huh.
there 90s
And then
right
it
now.
Oh
goes
my
like
god.
it goes straight left, and you're like, what the fuck is going on? What am I playing?
Yeah,
Why am I playing this? What's going on? Like, you don't want to
it's
play it anymore.
And why am I still
Sega
turned
CD.
on?
Now that's a you question.
And you want to talk
Alright,
about something?
Oh, jeez.
the next
Dan,
one,
you wanna
the
talk about
next
something?
the next and the last one, I don't really expect anyway to get it. I just got it because I thought it was funny.
Okay.
Because I saw.
Yeah, we went through 10 already.
not too long ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. All
Ready?
right. Go
I
ahead.
feel like we went through more. What the fuck is that?
What am I looking at here?
Oh.
The demon is not amused.
Um.
Shin Megami Tensei Nocturne.
Oh my god. Yo, it says press next to fight. What? He's definitely gonna beat your ass.
Final
in one
Fantasy Zero.
Final Fantasy Zero Chaos.
Chaos.
That's all you see at the bottom. Chaos.
Is
Anybody?
this
Mm-mm.
not King's Court? Is this
It
something
can't
with the
be
word
King's
kings?
No.
Oh no, I don't know then.
You got
That King's Court game is what inspired them to make it. This game inspired them to make it. But this is D&D. That's the name
What?
of it. D&D.
That's
D&D with a
D&D?
Play-Doh system. It was a computer Play-Doh
No
something
way.
like that. This was the first ever RPG game.
Wow.
Only you would know
That
that.
wasn't text-based. Because
Yeah.
all the other ones were text-based technology, which is it still does it, but it had some type of graphics towards it. This picture is like the worst fucking picture. I got this picture on purpose to make it hard. There's other ones that show more of the stuff you can do, but it's basically
So this is the equivalent of the cow, if anything.
yeah,
Yeah.
this is cool to the guys just to make it like this is just kind of like their intro, like when you first started, and then it on the right you have all the things you can choose to pick, attack, block, whatever, all that BS stuff. But ultimately, it was still just a text-based game where you chose to go left, went up, type of thing. But this was the first console. This is the first console RPG game. Whatever the fuck they consider that Plato system to be.
You know what hint should have gave us like the biggest clue? The demon is not amused because there's only like a few text games that are like that.
And they obviously their inspiration was D&D, but they couldn't call it Dungeons and Dragons because they have rights, so they called it D&D.
Yeah, like it's not Dungeons and Dragons.
I kind of felt like that was the same case with this old Nintendo game called Wizards and Warriors.
Yeah.
Well, that was fun. I like that. That was really cool. Well,
so who got next? Who got next?
Well done job. Nicely job.
So you have 3 cast members to pick from. So assign your homework, teacher.
Sign my homework? I don't know.
Yeah.
Who wants to volunteer?
I kind of
I
want.
mean, I like the way Danny did it, but yeah, Randy, if you want to do it.
How many are we limited to?
10.
I mean, minimum of 10.
Minimum of 10.
Yeah,
Okay.
and then we can go further depending on time, I guess, because we're way over time right now.
That's why I thought 10. I think 10 is a good amount.
Yeah.
That's good. All right.
All right, so that is it for this episode. So I kind of decided also, since we haven't had much of communities like involved into the show just yet, so I'm gonna kind of stray away from the whole community question stuff right now. Maybe even save it as just like an actual episode to like just talk about it like throughout the entire episode, like specific questions and stuff like that. So we'll just leave it at that, and like I guess we'll leave it for like days where there's slow news, and then we could just talk about the gaming, and we could just talk about like a specific question that we can just like debate over or whatever it may be. So so we'll leave it at that. So yeah, just subscribe to the podcast. You can go to thedrunkenguardian.com to check out all the links for the subscription. You can do audio format, you can do YouTube, Twitch, as well as Twitter feed, which I'm always on as well. And that's it. We're pretty much live every single Thursday, 10:30 p.m. Eastern time on Twitch only. And I hope that you guys can participate more in the chat, just like Huertas does. He's always on the chat. He's trying to be included into everything too. So it's always nice to have someone in the chat to talk to. So just join in as well. to join us in the community. And Boneless Bones, he's got his own streaming as well.
I always
It's
get
your boy Boneless Bones.
Hey, what's going on, guys? It's your boy Boneless Bones back at it again with another stream. Yes, I do have my own stream. It's on Twitch. It is twitch.tv/bonelessbones_TV. I mainly do fighting games, whatever game I feel like playing at the moment. I'm trying to find a set schedule to play games and enjoy games with you guys. And I just did like a long Tekken section today, and I enjoyed it. So I'd love to see you guys over there. And I have YouTube as well, same name, just no _TV. And stay powerful, stay beautiful. Love you guys.
Stay beautiful. Danny, Randy, Letty.
Peace.
Bye, guys. We'll see you next week. Join us next week.